Welcome everybody to our latest session of Candlekeep Mysteries. The group is currently going through some interesting stuff, so we'll see how this goes. So yeah, quick recap as usual, and then we'll jump right into our session. So last session we started off with the group actually being in the room here that has this sort of sarcophagus in the middle. There's a ledge all around it, a very oddly shaped room. The group was engaged in combat with these three, what the Watcher had referred to as units, this oracle that the group is trying to track down here in this inner sanctum. This battle with these three units was quite dangerous, as they had some unique properties to avoid magical effects and even siphon magical beneficial effects away from a nearby vicinity and take those into themselves. So that they use that to quite good use tactically in order to spread the pain on the PCs. However, the group did manage to eventually defeat them. Dell was dropped to the ground once during this whole battle, but luckily was really good on his death saves and so did not perish. The group was sort of teetering on whether or not to break out that feather that they could use to summon Zariel
only once, though. It's one use item, and it seems very likely that that will be quite a potent item, but for perhaps other reasons, Brandel's trying to reserve that as best he can, but we'll see if unfortunately that has to be used before the end of this session. So yeah, the group managed to defeat those constructs, those units here in the room, and after having done so, decided to continue exploring this area. Looked around a bit, went back to the original room where they found the first unit, and in doing so, searched around, found a small cabinet in there in this room with this large scrying pool that has all this fetid odor and this dark mist kind of coming off of it. Inside the small drawers in there, they did find some few items, but nothing of particular interest. Used some detect magic to circle around, see if they could find anything else magical, but did not. Made their way back through some other areas in the tomb, or in the sanctum, I should say. They found a couple of areas of interest. One was this room with these 4 pillars in it and all of these cushions lying around, and they found the body of a dragonborn lying there who apparently was dead, and you could tell after further investigation there was some surgery perhaps performed on this individual. As with piecing some details together, it looked like this turned out to be Myastin, the sage from Candlekeep that the group was originally here to track down, and the group has pieced together that Myastin intentionally extracted her own pancreas in order to prevent something from happening. We maybe could guess, but don't know exactly yet. And in place of where a pancreas would be expected, our more medically in-tuned individual, which I believe was Ranvan at the time, discovered that the pancreas was this sort of like rock-like substance, where instead a pancreas should be expected to be found. So with this information, the group used some Speak with Dead, got a bit more information from Myastin, but as is the nature of divination magic, it's always a little bit cryptic. So perhaps the answers that the corpse of Myastin provided was some help, and perhaps not as much as the group would like. In fact, near the last answer, it seemed as though the voice of the oracle spoke instead of the voice of the animated spirit of Myastin, showing once again just how potent the divinatory abilities of Valen, the oracle, seems to be here in her inner sanctum. The group then also made use of the Helm of Torm in order to speak with the Avatar of Torm in order to get some additional information, which proved to be quite helpful. Particularly, if I recall, the group asked, is the right of reclamation in the inner sanctum? And the answer was yes. And that's important because based on the book, the Canopic Being, the group knows that the right of reclamation can be used in a way to undo a terrible ritual of this being putting some organs into another individual in order to have sort of a power over them. And thinking back to these units, it's pretty clear that there was some effect here with the oracle likely having this effect over these units. So the group gathered this information, decided to continue searching, found their way down to a room Started checking it out briefly. It was either Lexi or Leopold that opened it quickly. I think it was Lexi, but unfortunately there turned out to be some explosive runes inscribed on the door, which exploded, spreading around corners and hitting pretty much everybody in the group for some damage. The group then shook that off, tried to get through the door, was unable to do so, made their way back, passed through that room with all the cushions again, took this very long hallway down, and sort of found this other very large room, but stayed at a distance. As they viewed it from a distance, they could continue to see these flashing circular colors and different patterns, and seemingly making up different shapes and images. The group found this very curious, but decided it wasn't worthwhile to enter because it was of an unknown nature. They didn't know exactly what would occur here, so decided to backtrack. Having backtracked, eventually, after discussing amongst themselves, they decided to make their way back to Alessia, who is the assistant to the Oracle Valen, with the intention of perhaps trying to get more information out of her, try to figure out what their next steps are here. A couple points of interest that I saw the group was mentioning is when they were in this room with the sarcophagus, they found these different jars. Each one of the jars had a symbol on them. They seemed to piece together that these symbols represented perhaps individuals. Of particular note, 3 of them that were marked, once one with a staff, one with a crossbow, and one with a battle axe, likely indicated some of the characters themselves. And if we recall, the names of the characters were actually in the book, the Canopic Being, all the way back in Candlekeep when the group first discovered this whole scenario. So yes, they've decided, after noticing or perhaps recalling that one of these jars had a cat upon it, and trying to piece together what that could mean, made their way back to Alessia, opened her door after knocking. She sort of opened the door there, briefly discussed with her, or were getting ready to discuss right at the end of our session, when some of the members at the front of the group noticed a bunch of different cat figurines displayed around Alessia's quarters. This seemed to likely connect some dots with the group, but yeah, that's where we left off. So a little bit of a short and a bit scattered recap, as the group kind of went a lot of different ways there. But if there's anything I missed that anybody in the group would like to add, feel free to do so.
I lived, bitch.
Always a good achievement. Yes, telekinesis out of danger. It's always helpful. All right, so if there's no other pertinent information to add to our recap here, we'll go ahead and grant inspiration to Brandel for another entry in Brandel's journal. Thanks for that, Brandel. And we will get everybody over to the map where we left off and pick up from there.
All right.
Am I in the box? Sorry.
So, no, you're not. So what I wanted to add, so I want to give some time for other people to speak up if they had it, but what's important is that we learned that if Valen's heart is destroyed, then you can defeat Valen. Now that was not from Speak with Dead, it was not from Torm's helm, it was from a note that was in Myastin's coat pocket.
Right.
So that's handwritten words. It could not have been defiled by the great divination.
And I'll just go ahead and throw out there the usual DM cautionary tale of anything that you receive, make sure you read it carefully. Try to read between the lines sometimes to determine whether or not that information is precise. Sometimes what we find or what we hear, maybe we take away something a little bit different than what the message exactly is. So not to spoil anything, but I would just say, if you've come away with the impression that somehow destroying her heart destroys the Oracle, that might not necessarily be 100% accurate.
Noted. Leo says out loud to the voice in the air.
He's actually being very, very, very meta right now, and it is accurate, but he's trying to lead us astray.
Yeah, because even in the Sanctum, even the DM's words get twisted by the powerness of the defense.
Oh man,
Wow.
What to believe? What to believe?
Get the hell out of here.
All right, groups, we find ourselves back here in the Sanctum in front of Alessia's quarters. You guys have just barely opened the door and begun speaking with her, so whoever would like to take the step up and open the door, we can presume that you have just briefly engaged Alessia in conversation. All right, and hopefully not everybody's lagging. It seems like I'm lagging super hard here, but hopefully it's not for everybody, and maybe it will calm down here in a little bit. But yeah, so Alessia is here. I think I gave you guys a description of this room last time, but I'll just give you another quick description as a reminder. This room is furnished with a simple cot, a small footlocker, a round table and chair, and a wooden cupboard with one door ajar. Small figurines of cats set along the top of the cupboard are the room's only decoration. A folding screen obscures the far corner of the room.
Bless you. Hello.
You see, as the door opens, and she's holding it open a bit ajar, as she peers towards you, and she says, "Oh, you are back. How have the trials fared you?" And you see she's specifically looking at some of your wounds now, Brandel.
Well, yes, I'm clearly wounded, and there's been lots of trials. You weren't kidding. This is quite a challenging place. Have you ever tried them yourself?
No, I am simply a student of the oracles. The trials are not for me, they are for others seeking her wisdom.
Ah, oh, speaking of, that's very interesting to me. What kind of things do you do to seek out Valen's wisdom?
I personally serve as both an assistant and an attendant to Valen, getting various supplies that she perhaps will need, occasionally getting some supplies for honored guests who are here studying at her feet, other assigned tasks as necessary.
So that's one way to gain Valen's wisdom.
I see it as a badge of honor to be able to serve Valen. Her skill and expertise in divination magic is something that will certainly put all of us on a greater path towards our destinies.
Ah,
Has Valen said anything about us to you since we've been here? Did he communicate telepathically or something?
Not typically. I wouldn't be surprised if she possesses such a power, but no, I haven't seen her recently. She generally likes to be left alone. Her studies and peering into the void beyond all time and space is very taxing.
How long would you say you've been with her here in the sanctum?
Several years now.
Hmm. This may sound funny, but does it affect your memory, being in this sanctum? Like, do you remember being someone else beforehand? Like, were you an ex-mercenary or something like that?
I'm curious that you're taking an interest in my past, but if it somehow helps you in the challenges, I was actually a student in the temple here in Talshuta before I actually was accepted to work with Valen, the Oracle. So yes, of course I remember my past.
Oh, well, that's great. I just had a few little memory lapses from the last few hours, but that may have been the hit on the head I took. um,
You notice she smiles slightly. Yes, I've been told the challenges can be quite dangerous.
but you said you said you were accepted. What got you in Valen's graces?
I like to think it's being a dutiful student and paying attention to my study work and understanding different possibilities that can happen. Many people, their minds become very rigid when they get older and they get into their adult years, and their ability to see things perhaps differently fades. I'd like to think I've always kept that curiosity and avoided harsh realities or stuck in the mud type of thinking.
so after you were accepted, or prior to being accepted, was there like an initiation phase, or was there like a ceremony, or something you could describe about? Did anything happen, or was there a ceremony, or did you have to do certain tasks to be accepted?
I was recommended by some of the higher ups in the church hierarchy, and they were willing to put in a good word for me to Valen. Once she decided to accept me, yes, there was indeed a ceremony. It was one of the proudest days of my life.
Oh, I'd love to hear about it.
Are you a worshiper of Sabras?
Well, I'm here being curious, and I've been through some initiation phases. I was at Candlekeep, and I'd didn't just show up. I had to establish myself and go through some things. I'm curious in what your experience was.
I'm told that the initiation rites are somewhat of a private matter. What I can tell you, however, is the ceremony involves the individual who is honored with such a placement under one such great teacher is anointed in various lights and liquids and undergoes the ritual of the third eye.
Oh, the third eye. Haven't heard of it.
Do you go like catatonic, unconscious underneath all of these oils? That sounds quite tantric.
Tantric, I'm not quite sure I would describe it as such. No, I was not unconscious or catatonic in any way. I was fully aware, and again, your questions have me quite curious. May I ask? There must be some deeper meaning to what you're asking for.
Oh, yes, of course. These challenges have opened up my mind into thinking more about this place. We did come across a room with some certain interesting artifacts inside of it, and just kind of curious on where they came from.
Well, Valen is a great oracle, and she has quite a bit of experience behind her belt. Many people she would call upon as friends. Any type of treasures are not necessarily beyond her reach, and placing them here as rewards for completing trials is certainly one way to allow those who are capable and skilled to elevate themselves above the masses.
Oh, that's encouraging. See, we're moving along, guys. Um, this reminded me of something I read at Candlekeep. Are there any books in here that I could read, or study, or is there a place where I can learn more about Balin in a more conventional way? Any manuscripts or documents or scrolls?
Short of speaking with Valen herself, which you could accomplish by satisfying all of the requirements of the trials and challenges, other than that, I would probably suggest the House of the All-Seeing Orb, which you came through. That there is certainly some tomes there that explain her theories and her rise to her current status and stature.
And would you, if we decided to do that, would you open the portal for us and we can come back as we wish?
I wouldn't describe it as come back as you wish. You have to be allowed to enter the sanctum, but if you wish to exit, then certainly you're definitely not prisoners here.
And then, how would we be allowed back in if I wanted to talk to you somewhere? Or to Valen?
I personally will exit the sanctum from time to time and getting supplies. That would be the best time to speak to me if you had some great need. Valen herself rarely leaves the sanctum. It's been quite some time, in fact. This may be your only opportunity.
Um, Leo looks at Ranvan for permission.
What?
You always get upset when I try and like force the subject. Can I do the thing now? I want to check with you first before I go further with it.
How do we know? How do we know it's her?
There's cats all over the room, or there's cats. There's a cat thing in there. I want to ask her about it.
George, ask her about the cat thing, but that doesn't mean that she's the cat person.
Well, I'm going to ask her about it anyway. It's not. Oh, I just won't tell her that, or say that she's the cat person, because honestly, we don't know. But anyway.
I'm proud of you. You're learning.
So let's see. Question for you. The You've been all through the sanctum, this temple here, I imagine.
No, I have not. As I told you when you first arrived, I am limited to this entryway. I've been slightly down the hallway to the north, and I've seen the room of mirrors to the east, but I'm not permitted to travel beyond that.
Oh, right. I forgot you said that. Well, there's a room further north from here. North is actually a direction from this place, but anyway, that contained several urns And on the urns were pictographs indicating perhaps a tie to an individual. We found some odd objects inside of them, and we've been doing a little bit of detective work since then to figure out exactly what was going on. Um, we think maybe some of the jars were actually meant for us because the images that were on them were very appropriate for several of our group. There were other images on the jars. We found one that had a book on it, and I guess I neglected to mention inside of these jars were organs from I think I think humans uh, that had been placed inside of there. So what we're wondering, and to save everyone 10 more minutes of explaining, Leo will tell her what they found in each of the jars and the pictograph that was on the jar. So we found the heart, a heart, in one that looked like that had a cat on the front of it. So um, we just came by here to kind of pick your brain a little bit, and I just happened to notice you have some cat memorabilia inside there. Does that ring any bells for you, or have any thoughts?
You notice her expression is very flat throughout this whole thing, and she nods slowly at occasion at different dips and lulls in your recitation of this information. And once it's finally complete, you see she smiles slightly and says, "It certainly seems to me as though you've thought about this a great deal. I applaud your ability to think this through and try to come up with the answer, but I'm afraid I am prevented, not permitted whatsoever, from assisting in completion of the trials or the challenges."
Well, that's the thing. I don't know if they're actually part of the trials and more something that has your master Valen has gone awry and has been doing something that they shouldn't be doing.
I, I highly doubt anything such as that would ever occur. The Oracle is one of the most upstanding people I have ever met. Her integrity is beyond reproach, and I must assure you that if you have found anything that seems in any way like a test, it is indeed a test. Even if you don't think it is a test or a challenge of some sort. Everything you find in this area is meant to test different areas of your skill sets, even your grasp on reality.
Right. Well, let's.
So-
I suppose. Yep. Go ahead, Dill.
Well, that explains the mirrors then.
Right.
The grasp on reality
Yeah,
explains the
it's
mirrors.
very much exactly that room.
You notice she has this flat expression on her face, but she doesn't give any kind of response. You get the impression where she wouldn't want to lean one way or the other into giving you any kind of information as to the trials.
Well, here's the other thing. Also, we found our friend Myesta, who Myaston, my
Myastin.
Myaston, who we originally came here for to find. They were dead with a portion of their anatomy removed, which had in its place a strange rock-like object. Anyway, when we found her, we found a jar with a book on it that we assumed was hers, and there was a pancreas inside of it, and that fit directly into the spot where this rock was on her corpse, which is just laying a little ways north of here. What do you have to say about that?
The trials and challenges take many different forms. I can assure you the Oracle would not have killed Myastin. But short of that, I cannot give you any clues about how to solve such a riddle.
Well, I don't think we actually need any help solving it, aside from figuring out where the particular organ is that we need to find the heart. What I'm trying to get past onto you is that I don't think your master is in their right mind anymore, and that I think you need to take a serious look at some of the things that have been happening around here. There have been some odd requests that have come up lately, or strange behaviors. How many of the people that have come recently have left? I don't think any have.
Many people seek the wisdom of the Oracle, wishing to spend significant amount of time with her and study to get glimpses into the future. Certainly you can understand how such knowledge could improve one's life. Does it really surprise you that people would wish to spend a lot of time with her learning the answers?
No, I'm sure study is valid. However, when outside forces request to speak to individuals, they expect them to be still alive and not dead on the floor, pancreases removed. That seems to be a bit above what your tests should be testing for.
Perhaps from your vantage point, but as I said, these trials and challenges take different forms. Can you figure it out?
Here's what I figured out, that your master has murdered our friend. Well, actually, it wasn't our friend, we didn't know them, but has murdered one of our colleagues, and I don't think they're in the right mind anymore.
I can assure you that the Oracle would never take upon a task of murdering an individual. That is not her way. She is far more interested in knowledge and granting that knowledge to those that are worthy.
I guess if you want to get technical, she didn't actually murder her because Myastin wanted the object removed from her. So there is, either way, she was the direct cause of it. And Myastin, and actually, I'll pull out the paper that we had gotten from inside of her pocket, and I'll pass that over. This was in her own handwriting on her corpse.
As
Remember
you
how
try to kind of hand it towards her, you see she puts a hand up and takes just a slight step backwards. Says, "As I said, I'm afraid I cannot aid you in any way. If I was to look at the words on whatever is written here, and my expression should somehow reveal some type of information, I would be failing the Oracle and failing all of you in your honest attempts to complete the trials here. I certainly wouldn't want to be the cause of your failure."
Leo's kind of had enough at this point and just kind of rolls his eyes. Well, I'm done. Do we want to try and force something or keep going or try and leave this place forever? What do you all think?
Well, Alicia, you said people stay here for a long time, right? So they must rest and sleep. Is there a place where we could recover?
Once you arrive here in the sanctum, it is intended to go through the trials. Once you complete them, I am certain there would be a place for you to rest and relax afterwards.
Oh, how many trials are there?
I'm afraid I do not know. As I said, I have been limited in my area here.
Sounds like we gotta figure those mirrors out.
The mirrors, and then there's an observation room with the lights. I think lights or something.
Yeah, there's crazy lights in that one. All right, I guess we'll go do that. And then after we go and figure out that your master is turned completely evil and is subverting the natural laws of the universe, we'll come back and have a conversation then.
And you notice she smiles slightly and says, "I look forward to your view being expanded once you learn the great wisdom the Oracle has to offer."
He's going to learn mine, actually, and I'll pat my crossbow.
Oh, one more thing, Alicia. What was your cat's name? You seem quite lovely.
And you notice she turns and looks at some of the figurines and looks back towards you and says, "I've always had a fascination with cats, but I'm afraid I can't give you any names, just in case somehow in the Oracle's wisdom, she has perhaps used one as some type of passcode or answer to a riddle.
Leo rolls his eyes again.
Hey Adam, I have a cat in my as a familiar that's in its own little plane of existence. Can I try to pop it in here?
You attempt to extract this from the extra dimensional space, but it does not appear.
Okay. Well, have a good day, and we'll go back to those trials. Thank you for the encouragement.
You notice she nods her head with a smile and says, "I wish you the best of luck."
All right, Cedric, you said quite confidently a couple of weeks ago that you had it. Let's go to the mirrors.
I don't know about have it, but I'm willing to give it a shot.
Leo starts angrily pumping cure wounds through his crossbow into Brandel. If that whole conversation taxed him greatly, but he's going to hit you for several of his.
Can you make it a little more gentle?
Just hold still. How's that feel?
Oh, thank you. Thank you very much.
All right, let's go to those mirrors.
Okay, off we go.
Like,
That's cheating.
Come on, Cedric.
I'm lagging.
Dell will just put his hand on Brandel's shoulder and tell him we got this, and pump 10 points of lay on hands into him for healing.
Thank you.
Adam,
Yes?
now that we're kind of at the edge here, can we, I guess before we barrel in there and go all wonky again, can we observe anything from this edge of the room from here?
You notice the crystal floor, walls, and ceiling of this room are obscured by hanging mirrors whose brightness intensifies as they catch your reflection. Aside from that, the room seems to be absent of any kind of dust or anything that would stick out to you other than what has been described.
All right. Maybe instead of us having to look at those mirrors and get all disoriented, maybe someone's got something that they can throw onto them so that we really, the mirror effect is broken. I'm looking through my stuff to see if I have anything.
Well, my guess is you see how the mirrors reflect the light kind of directly at you. I think it's meant to impair your vision. Does anybody have anything that? But Randall, you said before you have true sight or blind sight or something where you can see invisibility. What was it?
I am currently right now using my mind's eye. I can see invisible things up to 10 feet, objects and creatures. Although I do have an ability, I have to use a spell where I can see true things. I have that ability left.
Well, I think we need something like that. But I mean, obviously, we can just wing it and see if we can make it without having that. That's what'd you say it was? Like a headache, Leopold? I don't remember. I didn't go in last time.
Disorientation, just things go wonky, for sure. Here's another thought, just for us to ponder on. We could also, at least some of us, turn invisible, and then our reflection isn't being reflected. So that's a thought. It may still do something while you're in there, so that may not be the exact answer. And also, and then at this point, Leo's just gonna pull up his crossbow and fire a bolt into one of the mirrors.
You see the bolt strikes into the mirror. It reverberates very slightly, but does not shatter, does not even look damaged.
All right.
Anyone goes into that room, we should tie a rope to you at first, um, just just in case we have to extract you.
Yes, for
Right.
sure. And Dell, you were in there before. We're looking for something. Let's see. One of the trials was the hilt of the Sunblade. The other trial with the pool, we found these wonderful contacts that I'm wearing. Was there anything in there, or do we need to look around more specifically?
It's disorienting in there. Kind of get lost easily. And Dell will pull out the Sunblade and activate it, kind of shine it into the room to see what happens.
This area is already lit up through these, just sort of like a magical luminescence in the area. So, yeah, you don't see any obvious change by igniting the Sunblade and casting that light in the area.
Okay.
Yes, but keep in mind, we go in there, we're looking for something, so we'd have to have our wits about us to discern the unobvious.
Okay. Well, let's try the rope, and let me go in and see if maybe if I move very cautiously I can find something. I can peer closely and locate something. But I think trying to trying to see ourselves is going to be rough. Like perhaps if you didn't need to actually see out of your eyes to see, I think that's the solution. Or um I don't know, maybe we're not hitting it the right way. Maybe a certain type of damage works on the mirror. Like anybody have any kind of psychic damage that they could throw, or
What if we just close our eyes when we're in there, and someone standing right here tells us where to go?
I mean
I
we could
I
try that.
did I did close my eyes, but I used the wall to return back to here. So
Yeah, but what if instead I'd just been like, okay, turn right, now stop, now walk forward, now stop.
it's worth a try. I'd say, Cedric, if you want to give it a shot, why don't we send you in there, eyes shut, and we'll try and direct you.
Okay. Well, I'm gonna take out my 10 feet of rope at him, and I'm gonna tie it around my waist and then hand the other end to Dell.
It's just 10 feet.
Yeah, just 10.
Dell
Okay.
pulls out his 50 feet of rope
That's all I got, man. Sorry.
and ties it to the end of his 10 feet of rope. So we have,
55-ish feet with the knots.
yeah.
Boom. Okay. I'm gonna shut my eyes at him, and I'm actually gonna turn away back towards the mirrors, and then I'm going to back into the room with my eyes
Dell
shut.
and Dell will help guide him into the room, like grab him by the shoulders and kind of line him up straight.
And Leo's going to cast guidance on him before he goes in.
I'm trying to go in, guys, but I'm slightly lagging. Here we go. Cedric's just a little nervous. He's trying to play it off. All right. I'm going to back in slowly. If it's going to let me. There we go. So I'm going to go about halfway into the room, Adam.
All right, with your eyes closed, you're walking slowly, I imagine, as you can't see anything here. So you're trying to step. It's a bit disorienting feeling as you're stepping out in the middle. You're not sure, obviously where you're going here. But yeah, nothing seems to happen.
Okay. Not so bad. Directions.
Um, should we have him just shuffle while keeping his just like move sideways and not like turn his body?
Sure. So if you're
It's gonna be
facing,
on you though. I can't see in the room.
Well, then come up here.
I mean, it's okay. Well, excuse me. I'm coming. All right. Okay.
Yeah, that should be far enough.
Okay. Now that I'm here, I can see a problem. maybe I can inch forward just a bit more. I can't really see the full room without sticking my head in. So I guess we're just gonna have you walk to your, and I'll tell him to shuffle. I'll tell him to turn until his right is facing this way.
His eyes are closed.
Yeah, I got it. I did the Macarena in college.
Okay, yeah, and stop, and now just kind of, you said shuffle, Del?
Well, I said, yeah.
You should do
just
the
like-
running man. The
Like
running-
that?
No, the
Yeah,
running
just
man. Do the
just
running
like that.
Okay.
But if he doggies, then something might be wrong.
All right, you're attached to this rope and you're inching along.
I feel like I still got room. Can you see me still?
Yeah, I can still see you. You're good.
Okay.
What do you see? Oh, his
No,
eyes are
don't-
closed.
no,
His eyes closed.
Ignore
My
Brandon.
eyes are closed. But it's going to be hard for me to find anything if my eyes are closed.
Here's my thought, Cedric. Why don't you get to the end of the rope and then actually sit down on the ground so you don't have any way of falling over, and then open your eyes and see what happens.
All right, smart guy. How much more rope do I have?
I think we're at it.
Okay, I'm going to sit down. And then I'm going to slowly open my eyes at him.
All right.
I want to be facing the direction that I was walking or shuffling.
You open your eyes and you see a whole lot of mirrors all around you.
Okay, just looks like a bunch of mirrors.
Do you feel like you've awakened or something? The guide said that you would.
I mean, it feels like every day when I awaken, I just open my eyes. Is that what you meant?
I don't think that's it. And I'll turn to Brandel and Leopold and I'll be like, what's he doing wrong?
This might take a moment. Okay, so
Well,
Cedric.
hang on. I want to
Okay.
try something. After looking around and seeing a bunch of the mirrors at them, I want to see, are they just connected like dance studio style, mirror after mirror, or are there like frames?
There are frames. Yeah, you can see on the map the sort of like greenish area represents each mirror, and then there's like a slight section of just like metal in between. So think of each mirror sort of in a slot, and there's metal connecting all of these different mirrors up and down the area.
Okay, so I want to see if I can slowly scan around the frames of a few of the mirrors and notice any kind of deformities, like maybe it doesn't align perfectly with the frame beside it. Does it look like it's shorter maybe? Is there a hinge? And I want to, try to, start at my 9 o'clock and then circle around to my 3 o'clock.
All right, give me a blind check as you look around the room.
And would you say it's still been within the minute? Can I take the guidance?
No, definitely been longer than a minute as you've been having to be guided verbally of where you're walking.
I figured it was worth the risk of asking.
Yeah, absolutely. You take a bit of time looking around here, scanning, seeing if you can spot anything out of the ordinary. No, it looks to be mirror after mirror after mirror all lined up here.
I'm not seeing anything, just a bunch of mirrors and frames here. Do you want me to go to the other side?
One sec, we're just discussing it. And I'll turn back to this again. Yeah, he's totally blowing it. I don't know. He's not getting it.
Well, more eyes are better than one. Do we want to send another one of us? I mean, I'm pretty good at noticing things, but I'm also. I think we've at least figured out how we can navigate the room without falling into the stupid mirrors. Do we want to have several of us go through there and look through?
You are pretty perceptive, Leopold. you're the most perceptive of all of us, I think. Yes. I can rub some ointment on your eyes here. It's not gonna burn or anything, I promise. It's quite soothing.
Are you sure this is not gonna burn?
Well, you have to trust me. It didn't burn me, and I'm old and infirm in some ways. But this would grant you the ability to see things truly. It'd be a very powerful spell. It might be worth a try. Maybe Cedric has onto something.
I'm sensitive about my eyes.
Well, come here, and I'll get my little Carmax. Carmax? Is that what it is? No.
Max. Carmax.
Carmax. Yeah, Carmax is there. Carmax.
It's like lip gloss.
Carmax is that place with the cars.
Carmax, yeah.
Get a warranty on your car.
All right. Well, step here. Come here if you're. I'll take the ointment out and start rubbing on his eyes at him, and I'm gonna. It's a touch spell, so I'll cast this on him. I'll go
It's
level
burning.
7.
Oh wait, no, it's actually feels good. Oh, that's nice.
You lied, it burns.
Oh,
You said no tears.
This is a Johnson & Johnson. Okay, so you said you burned to 7th level slot for this?
Yeah.
Okay, all right, and you spent those 25 gold pieces worth of ointment. Yep. So, you've cast a spell, this divination spell, upon Leopold.
should we have Cedric come back? Just walk backwards with his eyes closed until we tell him to stop?
If he stays there for now, he can be the anchor on the rope, and Leopold can just walk holding it.
Yeah, just close your
Fair
eyes,
enough.
Cedric. We're sending Leo in, and he's got his ointment on his eyes.
All right, I'll stand up, and I'll shut my eyes before I stand up at him, and then I will slowly shuffle my way back.
Nope,
Just
stay.
following the...
No,
Stay,
move.
stay.
Just stay down there.
You gotta make up your minds, guys.
We're sending Leo to you.
You said there's 2 of me?
We're sending Leo.
Leo, you better go. And I nudge Leo.
I'm going. I'm grabbing the rope. I'm gonna shut my eye.
Del, since he's with the rope's 55, so he's 55 away. Del's gonna make the mental connection with Cedric and be like, "Leo is on his way to you. Don't move."
All right.
Okie dokie.
Okay, so Leo,
and just
you're entering?
Yeah, and I'll grab the rope and kind of like do the same thing that Cedric did with like kind of shuffling into the room, and with my eyes closed, and then maybe when I'm assuming this rope is kind of curved out a little bit, so maybe when I'm right here, I'll stop, sit down, and open my eyes.
Okay, and I think Volt, you said you wanted to say something right there?
Just so it's clear, Cedric, we're not sending him in because we didn't believe in you. That wasn't a thought we had.
Four eyes are better than 2.
Frederick says the same thing. Must be like something you guys do over here in your party.
Leo,
Absolutely. Strength in numbers and whatnot.
Leo, open your inner awareness.
I open my outer eyes.
All right, so
Is that like a belly button?
Remind me here, Leo, I believe that previously you were in this room and you actually suffered these effects, and then you made your way back by touching on the walls, right?
Correct.
All right, so as you open your eyes this time, enhanced with this ointment from Brandel, you can certainly tell that the disorienting effect is not having any effect on you whatsoever. You feel that with the benefits of the spell, you can see right through that effect. It just doesn't affect you in the slightest. So you're pretty sure you could just walk around this room without any risk of bumping into a mirror.
Oh, hey, you know what? The ointment worked pretty well, Brandel. Good job.
Center your inner being.
Hang on. You're going to give him praise? It was my idea.
Man, is he a wizard or is he a drug dealer?
Imagine-
Center your inner being, man.
What's the mural on Brandal's van? You know what I mean? Like, what's that?
I'm just waiting for Brando to say the first time's free. After that, you got to pay.
There you go. Man, these mushrooms ain't cheap.
Okay.
Hold just a second, Cedric. Leo's got something. Leo, what do you know now that you're awakened? Anything?
Well, now that I'm awake, I can see perfectly fine in here. It's no more carnival fun mirrors, and I'll stand up and I guess I'm gonna look over at Cedric and make sure there's nothing like invisible monster coming after him or is down there near him.
No, it just looks like he's sitting here in a hall of mirrors.
Oh, boy, Cedric, where did Frederick find you? I'm going to
Quite
now.
literally in a hole.
That seems about right. I'm going to just make a circuit around the room, and I'll pat Cedric on the shoulder when I come by, and just kind of say hello, and just I'm gonna do the same thing Cedric was doing, as looking for what's the secret here. Where is it?
I think it's the frames, man. I mean, like, I don't know. I can't see nothing. I'm attached to this rope. I feel like if I move too quick, I'm gonna get a crank in my neck, or I don't know.
As you make your way closer to Cedric here, Leopold, you do notice in the southwest area here, there is a hidden panel along the area. So right here, you can see that there's actually a hidden panel that looks like it could easily be slid downwards in order to open this area.
Here's the thing. I found a thing.
Hey guys, I found a thing. Leo helped me find a thing.
Cedric found it. It was very good.
Rambo turns around to Brandon and goes like, "You did that oil for nothing."
Do we touch it? You want me to move it? I can move it for you.
When I touched these mirrors the last time, it was pretty painful. I don't know if that's going to be the case with this one. You got like a stick?
I've got a sword. I can poke it with my sword.
So Cedric, I saw you just moved. You're holding on to the rope, but you're stepping closer to the mirror?
Yeah, I'm gonna try to shuffle a little bit.
All right, go ahead and give me a dexterity saving throw. As with your eyes open, you start making your way closer to this very interesting location that Leopold has found.
Saves are public, yeah?
Yes, you can make this public.
Is there any way Leo can help him steady himself before he falls over?
I think him moving probably came as a surprise to everybody, so I don't anticipate Leo was probably like ready and like, oh, is he going to move? I'm watching him. So in this case, I'm going to say no. As you're stepping closer here, Cedric, you realize what you thought was just like 2 or 3 steps. You're actually making much larger steps as this whole area is just changing your perception of the room, and you quite quickly actually bounce right into this mirror. And as you do, you're going to suffer some damage.
You wanted me to hit it right here?
No, I meant just stop. Close your eyes again. Don't move.
Okay.
Don't touch it. I'm gonna come over here and I'm gonna gently grab Cedric and just pull him back 5 feet.
Okay.
Okay, just stay here. Thank you. That was a good test. Now we know that the mirror is going to hurt. He did touch the bad mirror, or the not the bad mirror, the
I think they're all
hidden
bad.
door mirror.
Yeah, so you saw he basically bounced right into the glass of it.
So headbutt is not a method to use. We know that now.
Right. This might not work either.
And just to clarify, Leopold, you physically dragged Cedric back one?
Yes.
All right, so I'm just going to scoot him back one so he's where he is.
Stay there. Don't move.
I feel like I'm stealing Leo's pronunciation. Is it Cedric or Cedric?
Leo's saying it wrong, but I haven't corrected him.
It's Cedric. Okay, all right.
Cedric forever.
Team Cedric.
Leo's going to take out his moon-touched sword that he gratefully borrowed from Dell, and he's going to try and touch the mirror with that.
All right, yeah, so as you draw that blade and get a little bit closer, you do realize, as was previously indicated, in between these panes of glass that serve as the mirrors. There is
Oh.
this sort of metal area that you feel like, just based on what you can see so far, you would not be touching the mirror if you want to do it. You can still use the blade to try to move it, but you have a feeling touching the metal is probably going to be just fine.
Okay. I guess just to, because Leo can't do anything without testing it to death, he's going to touch the metal frame with the sword just to make sure that at least it doesn't jump through that. And then if he's not shocked, he'll reach that
I'm
frame.
gonna
nothing
pretend
happens.
that it shocks me though. The minute he does it, because he's got a hand on me to see steadying me, I'm gonna pretend like it went through him and shocked me.
You.
I
We'll
got
talk
you.
later.
I gotcha. Loosen
Yeah.
up, buddy. When's the last time you brushed your hair?
I don't need to brush it. It's always nice and flowing.
That is a total lie. I got you. Go on, do what you were doing though. Sorry to interrupt. It was a good moment.
Leo just goes to this frame and yanks it.
All right, as you step closer, I'm going to go ahead and slide you right up next to the mirror here so we can make use of our handy-dandy open locked doors. And as you open that door and we wait for the lag to abate, you are going to see a small 10-foot by 10-foot room here.
Cedric, in your head, you hear Del go, what's going on? We can't really see that far down.
Leopold shocked me, man.
Oh, well, you probably deserved it.
I did. I ran into the mirror, but we found it looks like one of the mirrors is a door. It's
And
a
I'll-
small room.
And I just relay that, like, verbatim to the rest of the group.
All right. Yeah, that one, I don't know if it's a lag issue or if it's the API. I'm going to try to scoot you real close here, Leopold.
As long as I'm not getting jolted by the mirror, do what you will.
You are not. Yeah, it doesn't like that one, so I'm just going to actually move this one myself.
Leo's just like yanking on it. It's not opening, damn it. Oh, there it goes.
All right, as this opens, you find a very small area in here. Like I said, about 10 foot by 10 foot, slightly less than that perhaps. It appears to you to be like some type of meditation room. You can see it holds a number of rotting cushions.
Found some cushions.
It smells nice in there. Move some stuff around with like your foot. You feel anything? Is that like a trap door?
Yes, I'm looking right now. I'm gonna look.
I sense a bit of sass in your voice. My eyes are closed, man. I can't see nothing.
Does it feel like it's changing you at all? The guide said it would change you.
It's very comfortable.
Is that Cedric casting guidance? Move your foot around. Yeah.
So, Leopold, you're entering this area and beginning to search around?
I am going inside.
All right, as you enter and start pushing around on these cushions, you do find underneath the cushions is a small trap door built into the ground.
There is a trapdoor. I'm guessing, like, I'll throw the cushions out of the room into the mirror room so that they're all out of the way, and I make sure there's nothing else underneath there that might be interesting. And then if there isn't, does it look like is it a 5-foot square trapdoor, or is it like this whole space?
Even smaller than that. It's perhaps maybe a foot by a foot.
I guess he'll reach down and try and open it.
I heard the best way to trigger a trap door is to jump on it, Leo.
I will end you. Why don't you open your eyes and come over here, Cedric?
Okay.
No, don't do that. Don't listen to him.
I do, Adam. I do listen to him.
All right, so you open your eyes and try to step closer?
No, I listen to the sound of Leopold's voice and try to shimmy closer. And as I'm getting closer, I say, "Am I closer? Am I closer? Am I closer?"
I'm throwing a pillow at Cedric.
Guide me.
Here.
Okay. And then I assume eventually I will probably make it in.
I would say with this strategy, yeah, you can make your way in.
Okay. And since there's no mirrors, or well, not facing the mirrors at least, I can open my eyes. I'm hoping.
You open your eyes to find yourself in this small room.
Does anybody have any more rope that we could tie to this in case he needs a longer line?
Gertrude.
I don't have any rope.
Of course.
Not much need for rope in the mechanist box.
I'm gonna untie the rope from my waist, and I'm just gonna shout out loud and say, "Why don't one of you use it? Leo can lead me if he needs to."
Yeah, I think
not going
based
with-
on the length of the rope, you would have had to taken that off before you could actually get into the area, or really close to. So we will
There we go.
assume that you've untied it and it's like right outside this little room.
There we go. I'll look at Leo and say, "Well, I'm not the best at checking for traps, but I am one of the best at cracking a lock. So, if you want to see if there's any, smart things attached to it with mechanisms, I
Right.
don't know how it works. It's not my thing."
And Leo, look for traps on this trapdoor.
He sure can. Go ahead and give me a blind check for investigation.
So the only thing I don't like about the blind check is I can't see how ridiculously high I roll on some of these things, which is always nice.
No, I appreciate that because you always shame Brando with your intelligence.
I know. That's my thing. It's like, I got a 30 that time. That's
You
fine.
could still act like you rolled high, even if you didn't, though. It's all role play, right? But for
Right.
this one, no, you do not find any traps.
I checked it over pretty good. I think we're all right.
All right, I'll reach down at him. Do I see a lock or any kind of locking mechanism on it?
No, nope. It looks like there's just a little handle that would pull upwards.
I look at him and I say, "All right, no locks. You found it. You open it. That's the rule."
Leo will open the door.
You pull up this small compartment in the ground, and you notice inside is a piece of cloth in a circular shape. Seemingly, there is something inside of it, likely, as it is covered by this cloth. And below that is a tasseled up piece of parchment.
Jackpot.
I got dibs on the cloth. Well, I just want the cloth. It's nice. Look at it.
I'll take the parchment. Okay, go ahead. Take a look in there, and I'll read whatever's on the parchment, or see if there's. I mean, looking at it with my special vision right now, is there anything that pops up, or is it just a scroll parchment or piece of paper?
So this just lets you see invisible things or things as they truly are. It's not like a detect magic. Brandon, correct me if I'm wrong on that. So I'm going to say no, you don't see anything special.
Yeah, the only thing addition to that is you can see into the ethereal plane, isn't it?
There's nothing in the ethereal plane.
Okay. I guess I'll read the parchment.
As you open this parchment, you can see it is written in a very old hand, and as you start reading some of the words, it details something known as the Rite of Reclamation.
Oh,
Hey, what about that, Leo? See, man. Told you.
I
didn't really tell you, but that's good news.
You spurned us on, Cedric. Appreciate it. Cedric?
It's okay, buddy. You call me what you like. Just don't call me anything weird.
Okay, Big C.
Whew,
So
that was pushing it, man.
what'd you get in your cloth bag?
Oh, I didn't open it. It was a good read. I'll unwrap whatever was in the little cloth rounded thing, Adam.
You find something that you think you should really hide from Brandel, as it is a crystal ball.
Oh. Well.
Thought you were gonna say a staff.
Can't fit into the 1 foot by 1 foot little area.
Jinkies,
Well.
another +3 staff. Come on.
I want to rerun this campaign and use a creature that has a staff, please.
Constant staff.
So I'll take the crystal ball, Adam, and I'll wrap it back up in the cloth, and I'll just wink at Leopold, and I'll put it in my bag, and I'll say, well, I don't know if this was the trial, but maybe somebody came here to get away from the craziness, maybe.
Maybe. Or maybe someone managed to get in here and hide this. Looking at the way that everything was arrayed in there, did it look like it was hastily put in, or is it not? You couldn't really tell.
No, I would say exactly the opposite. Like with great care, I would say is what you would notice. It wasn't like things were just tossed in here. The crystal ball and covered by cloth was set like prominently exactly in the center. The scroll here was set just alongside. So no, I would say very intentionally placed.
Um, all right. Do we want to head back? You can take my arm, close your eyes. I'll lead you.
I'll be there. Seriously, man, you've got to brush the hair.
I'm going to lead you right into one of these mirrors.
Yeah, well, that would be on you.
I'll just yank. Cedric. I can't do it. I can't. This is going to be the wrong one all the time from now on. So good luck. Good luck with that. And I'll just start yanking him back to the others. You know what? I've still got. I can control your token still from last week, so I'm just going to yank both of us back.
That's good, because I'm lagging. It'd probably be faster for both of us.
Yeah, thanks for that reminder. I'll go ahead and remove that now.
No, at least not until we're out there. Now you can take it off.
Well, what happened? How are your eyes? And how's your center?
That's too many questions at once.
So
How
excited.
have you changed? You're supposed to have changed.
Well, I changed in that we found this thing, and that makes me very happy. And I'll show, I'll display the paper for everyone to see, and then hand it off to Brando.
Oh, the writ of reclamation. You found it.
What do we have to do? I just skimmed it.
Okay. Well, let me look at it.
Did you say skinned it? That's pretty on par. Oh, skimmed it. My bad.
That's a good one, Big C. Good one.
All right. Well, let's see what it says. Can I read it, Adam?
You can, yes. Like I say, it's written in this very old hand, and it goes through and details this specific right of reclamation. For the specifics, I can give you the specifics here. I'll read these off, and I can try to get you maybe a snap of this here. It's a ritual known as the Rite of Reclamation, involving claiming some of the dust of a mummy lord's body after they've been destroyed, essentially. The ritual describes a process for mixing the dust with wax to create a magic candle, then floating the lit candle in a vessel of holy water. If a creature that has been imbued with one of the mummy lord's organs spends an entire long rest within 5 feet of the candle is consumed, valence, or the mummy lord's organ, is destroyed, and the creature's missing organ is restored. However, this won't bring somebody back to life who is already dead.
Can you post that for us? I'm super bad at absorbing information.
Yes. Yeah, let me try to get it out in a reasonable fashion.
Well, do we know how long ago my Myasin died? Because I mean, they wouldn't resurrect that one dude over at Candlekeep, but maybe they would resurrect one of their sages. You know?
I think. I mean, it would have to. I don't think we can because they were dead already when we got here. I think was part of it. You can't come back to life after you've died.
What? That's like the whole point of coming back to life.
But I mean, specifically with what has this right of reclamation and the organ transfer and all that.
I see. So if your organ has been transferred and you died, you cannot be resurrected. Is that what you're saying?
That's what it seems like.
Yes.
Seems like.
No, if you currently have the organ and you have a long rest in the presence of this wax and the mummy lord dust and in holy water, then and only then, after the long rest, you get your organs replaced and you're back whole. That's what we need to do with Alicia.
Great. But if you're dead already, like Myasin, then it won't work.
Are we sure about that?
Yeah, there's actually a caveat here in section 2, paragraph 4.
Okay. Hey, I believe you. All right, I believe you. I just asked if you're sure. A gentle yes.
Oh, yes, I'm sure. Of course, yes. But we're not leaving without Myasin's body, for sure. I'm sure Ranvon would not allow it anyway.
Okie dokie. Well, Leo, did you check all of the mirrors? I mean, that was only one. Are there anything else? Did you go through? Did you do the whole yank on all of them?
Um, Actually, you know what? Since it doesn't seem to affect me while I'm sighted up, Leo will go back out into the room and just triple check that there isn't anything else in this stupid room that we need to find.
All right.
Remember, the headbutt doesn't work.
I won't be touching them. Don't worry.
Go ahead and give me a blind check, please.
What am I checking here?
To see if
I
you can
mean,
spot anything.
is it? I'm just trying to figure out if. Oh wait, no. Ranvon's got those goggles, so it doesn't matter anyway. I will guide myself, however. Okay, here's blind check and D4.
As you look around this area and feel a little bit off with your guidance, as though it's distracting you, perhaps, this divination
Oh my God.
magic, you do not spot anything else of interest here.
Okay, I don't think there's anything else here, and I forgot, don't guide yourself either.
And I would say searching this entire room now twice, as you know, kind of looked around the first time, then guiding everybody around, that sort of thing. This has certainly burnt up some time. I would say in total, you guys have probably spent a good 20 minutes so far in this room. So count this as having 40 minutes left of true sight.
Got it. All right.
That wasn't a total bust. We found something.
Oh, we found the key, the answer to everything. Now if we could just get
Oh
dust.
my gosh, I totally forgot. Look, Brendo.
Yes.
Look, I'm gonna show you something. Okay, look, we gotta get on a level here.
Okay, tell me you found the dust of Valen's body.
He's not. No.
Oh, well then.
Look. I want extreme access to the bathhouse when we get back. I want the VIP Brando treatment, okay? All right, whatever it is that they do to you, because you're like 109.
Wouldn't
I
that be
want that.
the one-on-one tub time? That
If that's what it takes, right? All right. But here, I found this also in the same place we found that little scrap of paper. So look, it's obvious that it's got to go to you. So check this out, and I'm gonna pull out the crystal ball, and I'm gonna hand it to him.
You found this? Oh, and you're giving it to me? And I will show you the best seat at the bathhouse. It's got the best views, if you know what I mean.
I don't, but that's why I
Wow.
asked. That's why I asked, Brando.
Wow.
That's why I asked. See, so look, that's for you. I don't think anybody else can use a crystal ball, so I mean, they probably could. I mean, it's just a crystal ball, but it would be most effective in your hands.
Oh, thank you. I'll just add it to my 2 other crystal balls. This is great.
It's
He's
like,
got a new nickname, Crystal Saggy Balls.
Is it?
I got 3 balls.
Do you have like a bowling ball bag? You know that he just carries all of his crystal balls in.
Now we figured out why he sags, because there's 3. That's it. So, all right, guys. Well, we found. I think we found whatever was hidden in this area. Maybe that trial's done. What's next?
Well, I think
Any doors left unopened?
there's 2 doors. Well, there's one that's locked that we definitely can't get in, and then there's another room that had all of the floating symbols, and then there was I think the other one was also locked. Trying to remember.
Who tried to unlock the doors? Were they just like locked, or did somebody try to break in?
I
Doesn't
really am
sound
trying
confident.
to.
Whatever your answer is, it doesn't sound confident to me.
I don't
Did you
think
do it, Leo? Was
we
it you?
weren't. We were not physically able to pick the locks. that were on the doors.
Okay. So we go to the place with the floating numbers, right? Or symbols? Sounds logical, right?
Right.
In 10 minutes?
Why? Oh. He just drops down and does that.
I'll just drop down and start doing that. That's a ritual, so you guys can interrupt me if I want. But like, it's so interesting. Look at the way the light shines through here.
Yeah, let him do his thing. Quick question.
He's just gonna pawn that.
Did Brandel get aid cast on him already?
Yes, I have aid and I have death ward.
Okay. Just trying to look at little things that I might be able to
Thank you. Yep.
juice you up with here. Tell you what, Brandel, while you're doing that, I'm gonna go for not broke, but I'm gonna use a big one, and I'm gonna have my aura of vitality come up, and I'm gonna heal you a bunch. I'm gonna heal you and some for Dell too. So that's 10 rounds. This guy.
That is 10 rounds. Yep.
Yeah. So I'll throw those dice out while we all do this, and if you manage to identify it before we get attacked and we start moving on, I'll get them all out here momentarily.
Okay, is there anything else anybody would like to do during this 10 minutes or so of this ritual cast? Sounds like not. All right, feel free to distribute that healing, Leopold. As you finish the ritual of this casting, Brandel, you are sad to find that this crystal ball is not magical.
Oh, it's just a nice crystal ball. Well, I should add it to my collection.
Let's say, how many hit points do you have left to get back, Brian?
I am at 54 of 106, so 50 would put me at max.
How about if we do 40 to you and then 35 to Dell? Does that work for you? That's a lot.
No, it's a lot for me. Yeah, I'll try to stay hidden a little better. But I don't need to be fully healed, so you can give me less if you wish as well.
No, I mean, you're the squishy one, so we'll pile most of that onto you and then 35 over to Dell.
Well, speaking of being squishy, Brando, if you were to, get your soul claimed by Asmodeus and die in a fiery death and all, would it be okay if I had the 3 crystal balls? Is that all right? Would you?
Well, maybe you could loot you have like, I think if I remember, you have 10 seconds or something to loot my body.
I'm pretty quick.
Okay.
You can loot me if I die.
We'll just get to Brandel before he dies, and that will be fine.
Yeah, I'm not gonna let him die. This is a if and when situation, or maybe it might happen. Not an if and when. I'm sorry, I phrased that wrong. Let's get out of here.
Well, the 3 of us do have healing capabilities. I still have a fair amount of healing magic in my fingertips.
I have some good spells left as well.
But I don't have any powerful spells left. But I do have low-level spells left.
Okay. What about the dust? Do we think that there's a chance we could just find some, or are we gonna have to go open the coffin? I'm hesitant to open the coffin because those big guys wanted us to open it.
Well,
Yeah, I still don't think we should open it.
And I was going to say, I don't think that her dust is in there because she's still attached to her dust.
It's a weird thing to say out loud.
Could there maybe be some dust in there then?
I don't know.
Well, if you read it, it says, if you read the ritual here, it says quite plainly that you need to claim some of the dust of Valen's body after she has been reduced to 0 hit points.
So it's her or nothing.
But wasn't she dead for a while in the coffin and then comes? Isn't that how mummies kind of work?
I think we have to kill her, and she has to be dead while we do this.
Okay, I kind of thought maybe I'm wrong about this. I was getting the impression this ritual would be something that we do before we encounter her to weaken her.
Yes, that was my plan too. My
Doesn't
ill
appear that
thought
way.
was that we could reclaim Elysia, which I think she has the heart of Valen, and thus would destroy the heart, and therefore would never have to face Valen. But according to this writ of reclamation, my theory, though a very clean hypothesis based on years of experience and training and reading, seems to fall short of reality.
What?
We have to kill Valen.
Yes. We were just off. We were off a little on our.
But let me
theories.
just throw something out there. We were sent here to find Miastin, right? That was it. Just find the sage, right?
We're not leaving here without dealing with whatever this Valen situation is, because our names were in the book. So regardless of whatever happens, if we leave, I don't think any of us are going to ever be safe again until that's cleared up.
I guess that's fair. I was just throwing it out there.
That's a fair point, but it seems like that is the hook for us to stay engaged.
Yes, a hook. That's a very specific and appropriate term.
Oh, well, thank you, Leopold. I'm so glad to have someone so astute to pick up on my nuances.
Well, let's go scribble Brandal's name out of at least one more book.
Yeah, my soul's on two people's.
I still, I'm wondering if this happens to you first, would the soul go to? Well, anyway, let's just go.
It's confusing.
Do
I
we
got it.
want to? Do we want to go to flying images room or the other ones that we haven't been able to get in yet?
Flying images, because we went in there, or at least we peeked, and we didn't see any adversaries.
Can you fast travel us, Adam?
Yes, your plan is just head along paths you've already taken to get back to that room?
Yeah.
All right, hold up. Nobody move their tokens momentarily.
Yes, we click the waypoint on the map and then.
Fast travel is go.
Oh my god, that's a great one. Like, where? What enemies?
All right, the group has made their way traveling through this labyrinthine inner sanctum to find themselves back looking down into the room with all of these strange images.
Okay, I've held my silence for too long. I think we should do the coffin and not this.
She's not dead. The dust won't matter if she's not dead.
But wouldn't she have been dead at some point? What if she dies and then comes back? Was she not still dead for a while?
Who killed her?
It says
Time? I
reduced
don't know.
To 0 hit points.
But I also feel like we gotta get a lot of dust. I mean, a candle made with wax in the dust? Like, that sounds like it can't be a baby candle, I imagine. You gotta get a full-on chapel candle, you know what I mean?
I mean, I've got some candles. I thought it would just be as simple as kind of mixing it into the ones we have. We melt them down, let them solidify, and then it's like Valen scented.
But don't we also need holy water? Does anyone have holy water?
Ranvan can make holy water, sure.
It's not the 4th day, so no holy water here.
I'm sure Ranvan has a ceremony he can do.
While they're discussing that, Leo would like to look into this room and see if anything's different now that he's still got a little bit of true sight left.
Ranvan's scratching his head. Like, do I?
Nothing has changed.
Well, this one looks the same. It's not like the mirrors have in the other room. I know I hear you, Ranvan, and I'm unfortunately still me, so I'm gonna go and do a stupid thing and go in there and see what happens.
Okay, and just so we're clear here, it's hard to make holy water without water, and we're kind of out.
Good to know.
Leopold, as you enter this area, you suddenly feel your feet begin to lift gently off of the floor. You can see all of these images around you seemingly circling and taking different shape and then decompressing and turning into other images. They seem to move around almost at random, but some images do indeed become firm enough to see at least glimpses of them before they whisk away and become other things.
That's not my ointment.
I'm floating.
Yes, you are floating.
Yeah, I would say you are floating. Are you doing that yourself?
Not really. Can I mentally tell myself to move somewhere or try and wave my arms around and try and...
You find that you are able to, after a fashion. It takes a while to get used to. This isn't like your winged boots, and this isn't like a magical fly spell. This is somehow different, but it's strange, and eventually, over a little bit of time, you do manage to find some degree of control of being able to maneuver yourself around this room.
I imagine it's like the guys in those gyro things that have to level them out.
Gyroscope?
So, yeah, the gyroscope. Yeah. So, yeah. Hello.
You're flying over some type of unique symbol on the ground. Are there any other unique symbols in the circles?
So
Well,
as you feel like you've gotten this time and you've sort of acclimated yourself to this strange way this room operates, you can feel suddenly as though you are connected to this room. All of these images somehow at your command. You realize you can get the images here to try to form into something that you want to see some type of event in the past that you are aware of, whether personal or historical.
Ooh, I can see quite a bit now. Would it? Is it too vague for me to think of maybe Valen doing something to? Oh, okay. How about this? Can I? Well, I don't know if that's going to really tell us a lot. I'm trying to think of something specific to Valen, but what if I looked at I'll look back at Brandel and I'll think about you kind of threw me for a loop when it's the entire history of everything that I can.
Some of these
about.
are pretty difficult, yeah.
Brandel, do you want to know any details about your soul getting sucked out?
You can see into the past.
Oh, yes, that's right. Yes, that is exactly what's happening.
What about something more prudent to our certain current situation that we wish to learn about?
Do we want to go with Valen doing the dirty at some point? I mean, not the dirty, but the breaking bad.
Like with Alicia, like see if you can see what happened there.
Where can we find some of her dust?
Maybe the first time you pooped. I wonder if that's probably cool.
Please don't listen to anyone but my voice.
It's Ramban's turn to talk.
Is that a valid query to find dust of Valen's body? Or does it need to be... Has Valen died before?
So this is not a divination effect. This is not a knowledge learning thing that has occurred through magic. You're actually seeing an event that has occurred either to you or sometime in history that you're aware of, and you basically are going to be able to see that event replayed for you through these imagery.
Okay. So we do know that Myastin made a deal, or Alicia made a deal with Valen to transfer the organs with her acceptance ceremony. Maybe that's something you could try to replay.
Oh yeah, the secretive acceptance ceremony sounds cool.
Can I view that?
Is that what you were trying to focus on?
I think so.
All right, as you attempt
Or
to
wait,
focus,
for Alicia. For Alicia, I want to see hers.
and specifically, you're wanting to see Alessia's ceremony where she was accepted to be Valen's student.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, so you focus on these images and you see they all begin to move around and actually fluctuate and suddenly become much more solid than what you've seen before. Their shapes seem to hold now. They don't sort of fall apart so easily, and you can clearly make out images of Alessia herself, perhaps a bit younger here from several years ago, and you can see that she is in a room that looks much like the Temple of the All-Seeing Orb that you guys came through here. In this room is simply her and one other woman who has this very determined look upon her face and stands with a lot of elegance and poise. You presume this to be Valen herself. And as this ceremony goes on, you can see these images move around. You can actually hear the sound of voices as the two of them speak back and forth. This goes on for a time as this seems to be a religious ceremony of sorts. You can hear the name Savras mentioned multiple times. You can see that Alessia looks to be very, very happy and very pleased with what is occurring here. And eventually you notice Valen moving her hands and seemingly incanting some type of spell. And as she does so, it is as though Alessia kind of sort of freezes momentarily, and then she is led over to this altar by Valen where she lays down very easily. And you can see Valen goes through this process where she is actually using some magic and then cutting into her chest and extracting her heart. And she replaces it with her own heart, actually taking her hand and pushing it into her body, which seems very strange as her hand just sort of goes into her body like with ease. And when she pulls it out, you can see this dead, withered, shriveled looking heart that is desiccated and looks like it has no life in it whatsoever. She plunges this into Alessia's chest, and with a wave of her hand, you can see this wound suddenly seals up. There's not a sign of a scar anywhere there at all. She seems to cast Valen another spell here and focuses very deeply on Alessia while she's lying on the counter, and you can almost see her as she focuses on Alessia's mind, reordering her memories with this spell. And once this is all complete, she claps her hands and the magic seems to fade away. You notice Alessia kind of opens her eyes and looks around with a big smile and says, "Is it done? Am I accepted?" And you see Valen smiles and embraces her and says, "Yes, my child, you are now my apprentice." And the vision seems to fade away.
You just hear Leo shout, "I knew it!"
Yes, but what? Did you see it?
He'll relay the description of the scene. He'll actually start.
And as you're doing so, Leo, give me an intelligence saving throw, please.
Oh boy!
Oh, here we go. Dun, 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 dun.
Oh man, I was gonna flash a genius there, but if a 26 doesn't save, then we're all screwed.
Yes, you feel sort of all these visions colliding with your own mind, your own memory, your own neuroses, or your own obsessiveness seemingly kind of scattered for a moment. You have to really focus your mind and bring your consciousness to forefront and really into focus. And after you do, you kind of just shake your head, and this after effect of these images seems to fade away.
Gripping his head, he will Magneto fly over to the edge of the room and touch down gently, or try to anyway.
You do.
And then he'll recount everything. So
Now,
she got her when they were doing their initial ceremony.
now we don't need any more proof. But if Alessia needs convincing towards the end, we just bring her here and she can see for herself.
I don't. The other problem is that she's under like a magical effect that I don't know. So usually that sort of magic needs something higher level to deal with. Randvon, have you got any juice left, or are you done for now?
I can detect magic, but I don't have a way of dispelling it yet.
That's not really something I. No, not really my wheelhouse.
I don't think I can dispel that level of magic.
Well, I was thinking it's either dispel magic or a restoration spell.
I could dispel, but I currently am, only feel about level 4 if I were to claim it.
Level 4 on the tiered level 9 structure, I see. Well, I guess it doesn't. Go ahead.
I have a lesser, but I don't know that that would be strong enough. It's a pretty basic spell.
I guess it doesn't matter anyway because we need the dust of Velen to do it, to fix Alicia. So I guess it's we can't do one without the other, so we have to do the one first, the slaying of Velen.
And did it tell you where to find dust, or maybe if a candle already exists?
That wasn't quite an option for me to view because I don't know if that's an actual historical event that I can watch. That was the guideline of it has to be something that happened, and I couldn't focus on that.
Well, can you see if she ever died before? Or how do you know if it's happened or not?
Right. I think I have to know that it's happened. I knew that they had their initial ceremony to her to become the apprentice, so I just thought that was the best, the most likely time that something sneaky might have happened. It was a leap of faith, you might say, Ranvan.
Okay, well, I know she must have died before, and if this rite exists, like there's a document here about it, a candle at some point has been made, right? Would you agree?
Yeah, because why else would they have the antidote?
Precisely, right? If you have the conviction, I guess step back in and ask the room to show you where we can find it.
I can try.
The historical event of the creation of the writ of reclamation, or how they came up with it or made the candle.
I mean, that might show me when like that whole book originally was written, which I don't know if Fallon did that or not. Can I step back in? Does the room still rotate around me, and all the images are still going?
The images and the color seem quite depressed, you might think of it as they are very slow to move and just kind of lazily drifting about, no longer at that high speed where they're shifting and shaping and changing to different forms frequently.
I think we've exhausted it.
Well, maybe I could try.
Give it a shot. Watch out, it's a doozy of a come down.
I have my staff.
As you step into this area, Brandel, you realize all of a sudden it's as though your feet suddenly leave the ground and this strange floaty type of bit is affecting you as well.
Excellent. Do the lights seem vigorous in their intent to give me history?
They are not.
Oh. Well, this is quite fun and all, but don't really see the point, but I will try to spin.
You spin around, you're saying?
Yeah. Whee!
You're in the air, sure, yeah. So it's a little bit awkward to do so as you're like kind of like shifting your body and trying to spin, but I would say after a bit of time you get the hang of it.
Okay, there's another door down here, guys.
Just realizing that. We need to check that out next.
All right, I'm gonna float a little further. Can I figure it out?
Figure what out?
Floating.
Yes,
flying.
yeah, you could slowly move, yep. All right, as each of you enters this area, same effect. You realize your feet leave the ground. It takes you a while to figure out how to actually move in this area, but eventually you can.
Any significance with the pattern or the iconography in these circles here?
At this point, they're kind of moving, again, very, very slowly. They're not staying in any particular area, so it's hard to make out any kind of significance here.
Oh, okay.
Leo, did it show you where we can find the candle of the dust?
No! It showed me nothing about that.
Can I ask the room?
You verbally ask the room something?
Leo, how did you make it work?
I just kind of willed it mentally.
I'm gonna will it mentally, kind of.
It kind of doesn't work.
I think we had one go.
Did you break it?
And it was a very good question. It really nails our convictions, Leo. Good job.
We'll see. We'll see.
Can Dell try to will it to show him Balin presently?
There seems to be no reaction from the room.
If I had to guess, I would say it won't work again until the next dawn, whenever that is here.
That's pretty specific. Why do you think that?
Because most magical items that have things like that don't work until the next dawn after you use them.
Because he's an artificer. He knows everything.
I don't get why so many of them are obsessed with dawn instead of charges. Why not make everything charges instead of dawn? Always dawn.
I was thinking dusk. Sounds cooler.
Oh, you know what? That would be interesting. I might have to try a variation of that. Maybe when we get out of here.
Maybe at bath time it recharges.
As you look down this way, you notice a much more gentle ramp than some of the other ramps in this area leading down.
Not 100-foot.
No, this one's very walkable and easily walkable.
Hey, Cedric, are you lagging again?
No, I'm okay. The arrow keys seem to be working alright. Of course, Leopold just cut me up.
Out of my way.
I'm gonna have the Sunblade up and running.
Okay.
Adam, we didn't actually go in Alicia's room, right? We just opened it and chatted with her.
Correct.
Cedric's gonna level a plan to the group that maybe we should distract her and let me go in there and rummage around and see what I can find.
It's a good idea.
Maybe she has a key to one of those doors or something.
Candle.
Or a candle, yeah, that worked.
That's not a terrible idea. Maybe when we get done looking at wherever this hallway goes, swing back around. I have a feeling she's going to be very steadfast in whatever she wants to do, so don't be surprised if it takes some controlling to... You can go invisible, can't you? So maybe that'll be the best option.
I'm lagging bad, but I'm behind you guys.
What's up with these long hallways? It's exhausting. I don't want to live here.
Yes, and as you continue making your way down this long hallway, that dark outer space feel from all around the crystal hallway certainly is not very comforting. As you come around this area here, Dal, you notice this ends in a simple black sort of outer space like crystalline wall.
Can Leo step forward and look and see if there's any traps there?
Sure, yeah, go ahead and throw me an investigation check blind.
And also, I don't know if Brad, you were just talking, but I saw your thing light up, but I didn't hear anything. So if you were talking, sorry if I cut you off.
Oh no, you're good.
And do I see anything with my 10-foot invisibility?
You do not.
Yeah.
You see no traps here, Leopold.
Dell will go and touch the wall with the sword.
Yeah, you hear it sort of like clinks along it.
Okay.
Push on it.
I'll push on it.
You see it does move slightly as you realize this entire section can actually be slid.
All right.
Give it a shot.
Yeah.
Secret door.
Slide the door.
You slide the door open and find your favorite mirror room.
Oh.
Nope.
I guess I missed this.
Yeah, I thought you did a rigorous search.
You know what? If that is the case, then it means that you would never be able to see it on the other side.
Can we go back the other way so we don't go through this room?
Yes.
It's going to take a minute. So do we want to try and sneak into Alicia's room and see what we can find?
And again, if you guys have an area of where you want to go, just let me know. I can obviously move you guys to make it a little bit faster.
And we'll
Let's
bunch up.
bundle up and think about it.
Yes. Huddle up. Cedric, huddle up.
All right, so where is it that you would like to go?
Want to give her? I'm yawning, sorry. Do we want to give her a shot? And see?
Yeah, I think that's worth it. Yep, I think it's worth maybe distracting her or getting lucky if she's maybe gone into town or whatever.
Let's do it.
All right, sounds like head over to Alessia's quarters. So I'll assume you backtrack the entire way so as to not have to go into the mirror room. Find yourself back into the room with a very strange flight. Get out of that room and then make your way all the way back around. Needless to say, it's been a good 40 minutes now, so you would have 20 minutes left on True Sight. You finally make your way all the way through that dais room and find yourself back in the hallway outside of her room.
All right, Adam. I'll use my once a day invisibility.
Okay.
And when Dell gets to the corner right before we open the door to talk to her, he's going to use the helm for detect thoughts.
Just one other thing we should think about, actually. Brandel can see invisible people a bunch. There's a good reason to think that she might be able to as well.
Yeah, but Brandel can only see about, like, what is it, 15?
It is very hard to see invisible objects and creatures. I can see to 10 feet at will, so I'd appreciate if you would have a bit more appreciation for my unique ability.
I'm not saying that. I'm just saying if I stay outside a certain distance, I should be okay.
Oh, okay. All right. Sorry to be defensive, but it is
Having 3 balls has got to be difficult.
Okay, I'm breathing.
Brandel, as you approach the door down the hallway, you can hear this voice coming from the other side of the door. Your inevitable conclusion is with me. Why do you dither? Come, face me, fools. I have seen it all. I know what you will do. Let us end this game.
If you know what we're gonna do, then did you see us come back all the way over here for another go around?
Yes, I enjoy you wasting your pitiful magics.
So he doesn't want us to go back in this room.
That's actually the Oracle, Valen, who's basically saying it's time to deal with combat, I think. And I'm gonna step back here, Adam, if I'm not locked.
You are not locked.
Okay, but why do you wait till we walked all the way back here? That means that we must be in the right place, right? And we already know that the Oracle's supposed to be kind of unreliable, right? We think about everything that we hear, so say we see if she has any candle. Like, what's the harm? She has a candle. We're like, wow, could we, like, see how that smells for a bit and then just do the right real quick?
See how that smells for a bit?
I don't know. I'm not a candle guy. I don't know. I
Hey,
don't...
it's okay, man. I mean, we all got candles. It's life. We're just here to smell it. I get you.
Well, what do people do with them then? Do you not invite people over and be like, you have to smell this?
You're a holy man, Renvon, so I don't really want to tell you the last thing I did with a candle.
Guys, we have been challenged by Valen herself right now. Make ready.
I think she was just trying to taunt us to get us away. It could be getting us away from the door. Maybe she really does want us to. I have a feeling we're gonna go around in circles again with her here, but it'll at least buy some time for.
Knock on the
Cedric.
door. Knock on the door. Valen is just speaking to Alicia. Remember, he can speak through those who are donors. It's Alicia.
Let's go.
Knock on the door, Del.
Dell, you approach and open the door, and that should work, but perhaps the scripts have failed. But yes, we will assume the door is open. I'll give it one shot from my side. Oh, there we go. Okay, so as the door opens, you notice Alessia standing there, and you can see she has this flat look on her face as though perhaps she was expecting you. Oh, you have returned. Are there more questions that you have?
What are her surface thoughts?
So you've cast this detect thoughts from the helmet. Not much. In fact, you almost feel like a blank slate.
Okay.
Alicia, we have found a room that can reveal the past. It's very exciting. We could learn about and remember the great moments of our life. It's quite easy to do. We're happy to show you. I think it would enlighten you. You could relive your commitment to the great Valen. I think it would be invigorating that you would have a chance to see, relive the magnificent ceremony where you gave yourself to the service of the great Oracle.
You notice she smiles slightly once again and says, I'm afraid I am limited to this area, as I've already told you. This sounds quite intriguing, but the challenges are not for me. They are for the visitors seeking the great wisdom of the Oracle.
So, would you be, you can't leave willingly?
You notice she looks a little bit perturbed here as she kind of takes half of a step back. What do you mean?
Well, no, I don't mean that way, but in the sense that you can't physically walk there, like you're bound by spells or something, or you're just told you can't, you shouldn't.
I am bound by my dedication to the Oracle.
Okay.
In Brandel's head, Dell makes that mental connection, and he goes, "Do you remember the Rakshasa in Avernus? Could that be a situation here as well?" Q and his traveling band of merchants.
I imagine Brian feverishly flipping through Brandel's journal right now. What happened? I can't remember.
Page 57 or whatever it was. No, actually, I don't. Brad, can you enlighten me?
It was the one merchant, and it was an enchantment, and he couldn't tell a certain secret. He told the secret, and he died instantly.
Yeah, I remember that now. That was at the Grand Emporium.
Yeah.
Oh my god, guys, I have half a mind to just knock her on the head and drag her to that room and wake her up.
Well,
okay, really, we just wanted to know if you had any it kind of stinks here.
There is no obvious odor that I detect.
Well, you're probably used to it. You've been here a long time, but it does.
it's in one of the rooms further in. Do you have any scented candles that we can borrow?
Even unscented, maybe.
You notice she puts a finger to her chin and says, I do, but I'm afraid if you found it further in, then that may be part of the challenge. I would not be able to aid you in overcoming any of the challenges.
Oh, it's definitely not. I don't want to... You're not supposed to know about the rooms, so it's probably best if I don't tell you, but it's pretty obvious from the context when you're there that it's not supposed to be like that.
And you know, she kind of chuckles slightly to herself and she says, I'm afraid the great wisdom of the Oracle knows better than you, my friend. Whether this is a challenge or not is not for me to say, but as it is located further in the sanctum, I'm afraid I cannot render any aid to you.
It's actually in the Hall of Mirrors, just down here. Do you want to take a look? It looks like there's something nasty that crawled around and died in there. You might have to clean it up.
If that is what occurred, then that means it is part of one of the challenges.
Well, yes, it might have been, but you know, it's a big mess. So someone's got to clean it up, and you're the person, right?
If the room needs to be cleaned, I will be instructed as such.
Hey,
Have
Adam.
you ever been instructed to clean one of the rooms?
No.
Yeah. Okay. Well, do you think maybe the way that the messages are supposed to get sent isn't working?
No, I do not.
How do you receive these messages?
It depends. Sometimes they are pieces of parchment that have been left for me. Sometimes it's as I exit and come back in, I have information that is in my room here. Both doors are currently open.
Can I try to sneak by her?
Sure, yeah, go ahead and give me a stealth check as you start making your way, so that'll be a blind check.
Surface thoughts?
None. Blank slate. You notice as you step up, her head actually looks right towards you, Cedric, as you're moving by, and she says, "Excuse me, where are you going?"
Bathroom. Oh,
I'm
But-
afraid that is not available to you.
what? Valen strictly told me this is the only toilet in here.
If you have already spoken to the Oracle, then I would not be seeing you here, for you would have succeeded at the challenges.
Well, I mean, she did talk to us, but we wanted to do something else first. Is that not allowed?
The challenges are what lies before you. You must go through them and succeed or fail.
Yeah, I get that. But
My quarters are not for your use.
Don't you think, like, us convincing you to give us a candle might be kind of a meta challenge in itself? Like, this is actually, she planned this, this is part of it, and now that we've convinced you to give it to us, that we can just have it.
Give me a persuasion check, Ranvan.
Oh, we've solved it. We cracked the case, boys. I'm gonna use,
Use it all. Hey, use it all.
I have a flash of genius that.
dump it all, boys.
I'm gonna use inspiration on this. This is blind checked, right?
Yep, blind check, please. You notice she looks at you momentarily as she kind of holds onto her chin here and says, "I hadn't expected that she would involve me as part of the challenge, but, wow, the wisdom of the Oracle is so great. I suppose so. Yes, I will get you a candle."
Any of them that have been made in a particular manner, specifically ones with maybe some dust or ash mixed in?
I'm afraid I simply have simple wax candles.
Lavender scented.
I don't believe they have any particular odor. Here are two, if you'd like. And you see she hands over two candles. They look remarkably similar to the candles that you found in the scrying pool room.
Yes!
Way to go, Radvon. You totally solved it.
What have you
Yeah,
guys
two-
done for the party today? Because I got us 2 candles.
Look what I got, guys.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay, well, good, thank you. We're gonna, I guess, go now.
Best of luck to you in the continued trials and challenges. And you see she has this bit of bemused look on her face as though she's still running this through her mind, this very interesting challenge that just occurred.
Surface thoughts?
Blank slate. All right, as you guys make your way back out here, you'll notice she will close the door behind herself, and I'll let you guys think about what your next plans are as we pause for our 15-minute break, guys.
Yay.
Sounds good. See you in 15.
Can't believe she didn't let me use the bathroom.
All right, we are back on our second half of the session. Sounds like the group is already coming up with a plan to potentially deal with the sarcophagus. Welcome back, everybody. Feel free to continue where we left off, right in front of Alessia's room here.
Should we defile that sarcophagus first?
I got a bad feeling about it, to be honest. I mean, they were kind of pushing us to touch it, you know?
Kind of felt like they all wanted to surround the sarcophagus to get us into a trap. To really just destroy us.
Maybe they were the things that was going to take all our organs from us.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. Well, they're the organ collectors.
I guess if we have a way to do it from a distance. But even then, I think it's a little risky just because the units were so gung-ho about getting us up there.
Why don't we just ask Alicia to unlock this door for us?
She
Hey.
can't leave certain areas.
Yeah, I'd rather not have another 10-minute conversation with her about what she can and can't do.
Okay, let's knock her out. Search the room. Maybe she's got a key. You know? Knock her out. I mean, we're not gonna hurt her. You guys don't like that plan, huh? I can tell that all of you have thought it, though.
Oh,
Yeah?
yeah,
Actually, I love
said
it.
I said it earlier.
No,
Alright.
Someone here won't, and I'll look at Brand.
I'll punch her in the face. I'll do it. But, like, Ranvon, I'm not gonna
Let's just
do it if you don't want it.
Let's just face Valen, right?
I mean, wait, hit who? Valen or the mummy or?
They're talking about knocking Alicia out, like I mentioned earlier.
I mean, they gave us the candles. We should just go do the ritual with these, right?
We have to do the ritual with that person willingly doing, like, what did you say, Brando? A full
No.
rest?
Actually, it has to. So she could be asleep at night. You could sneak in and start the candle in holy water, but the candle has to be mixed with the Valen's dust, right? So it has to be made. We have to have holy water, and when she's asleep, you can sneak it in and put it in there. It just has to go through a long rest. It didn't say it had to be a willing creature. It did not say that.
So we
thing,
can knock
though-
her out and tie her up.
Sure.
But as good a job as Ranvon did getting those candles, these don't look like any special kind of candle.
I mean, what did you think they'd look like? They just have some dust mixed in them, right?
Can I look at it? Actually, I'm going to give it to Brandon because he's now good at seeing very tiny details with his
Yes,
eyes. And I'll say, look for dust granules, anything that shouldn't be there, besides the wax.
Give me a blind check, Brandon, as you examine the candle very closely.
Can I make this like a monocle, like I put on my eye?
I forget exactly which form it takes, but for just descriptive purposes, probably.
That's what he does. He's got like a little monocle and he puts it on his eye and looks in there real close.
You don't notice anything that sticks out to you. It looks just like a solid standard white candle made of wax.
Well, we found 2 candles. Great job, Ramdon. Here you go.
Yes, I don't think those are going to be the ones that we need.
Okay. So what's the plan? Destroy Valen?
I mean, as clever as I think we have been, it's been for naught. We found some stuff, but let's just keep looking and run into Valen.
Okay, well,
He sees all, right? And he knows all that goes on, right? That's the whole point of divination, right,
I thought
Brando?
it was a she.
She, he. I think it's a she. I
Yeah,
misspoke.
These walls have eyes on them, and she is definitely watching us, and knows what's going on.
Hey, I'm gonna look right at one of those eyes. Valen, why are you playing around with us? Just open this door. Come on.
And you hear the voice suddenly comes from the other side of the door. Approach my chambers, and I will gladly confront you.
See, there, all this worrying. All we gotta do is knock.
ask him where we can find some dust or a candle.
Sounds like a song for like a ballad. Dust to my candle. You guys are tense today.
So, where's his inner sanctum?
One of the 2 doors that we haven't gotten in yet.
You
towards
hear the
north.
voice emits from the other side of the door once again. Delzaris, travel north to confront me. Let me know what you like on your jar.
He's got a sun sword now.
Okay, now
can
I'm
you-
curious too, though. What would you put on yours?
Uzi's Wog's face so I can find him in the afterlife.
Wow. That's amazing. That's a good idea. That damn warthog. Why don't we head north then?
Yeah, I
Screw
think
it.
it's time. Yep.
Fast
right.
travel, please.
Sure, and just let me know where it is that you're going specifically. Are you just heading north until you spot something you're not familiar with, or?
Where she wants us.
The two doors that we had been locked out of.
Okay, fair enough. All right, I'm going to scoot you guys all together. All right, you make your way through that large chamber, covering, or staying on the ledge, I should say, moving all the way around, and find yourself near one of these large doors.
You sure we shouldn't just... I mean, it would only take a second to crack that bad boy open and see if there's any dust in there.
I
Are you
don't.
volunteering?
Ooh.
I'm not opening that thing. That's clearly a trap.
All
I can
right.
open it. I'll do
No,
it.
if they say it's a trap, then I'm not going to risk their lives and mine for it.
If we come into a dead end after we face Fallon, and we're not dead, then we'll check out of it.
Wait, where's Gertrude? Ah. No sense hiding here.
We traveled too fast. Del fell on her.
Dell, as you get closer to these doors, you notice once you get within about 10 feet or so, they simply open. You notice through this crystal hallway now another crystalline room lies before you. As you take a quick peek at it, you can see this looks to be some type of antechamber. The walls of this room converge in a high peak overhead. Through the wall opposite the door, the room beyond can be vaguely seen, a vast cubic chamber filled with shimmering points of light.
Did we take too long, Adam, with our talking and coming up here for my true sight to still be up, or is it done?
I would say you have at most maybe 5 minutes left on it.
Okay, that's fine. I
Well,
don't
what
suppose I
if-
see anything in here.
It's just, they really like doors here. What's up with that?
So
Now,
then
as
where are
you get
you?
closer to this next set of doors, you notice it also opens. We'll lock the tokens momentarily. All right, as the door opens, you notice revealed before you is very oddly a crystalline room, but the entire ground seems to be covered in sand. You notice a few sand mounds actually bulging from the ground, floating in the air, seemingly effortlessly. In an odd posture here, you spot a woman near the back of the room. As she's sort of just kind of floating here, looking in your direction, you see her third eye lines up and meets with you. You notice all these pinpoints of light floating about this room. So the points of light in the chamber beyond are shifting slowly like dust motes stirred by a gentle breeze. At the center of the haze of light, a flash of yellow marks the presence of a figure clad in the robes of the faithful of Savras. The figure circles slowly at the apex of the room, motes of light swirling behind it. What is you guys' intention to do here?
I think we're going in.
Yeah, we ain't talking, are we?
All right, fair enough. I will unlock the token. So as you eye this door, apprehensively perhaps, you enter. As you enter, Dell, you notice suddenly as the sands all about you begin to shift and spin around.
Can I still like see?
You can, but it's a little bit obscured as the sand is just kind of. You get the impression almost of like maybe a mild sandstorm here, and as everything begins to move around you, I'm going to go ahead and roll initiative for us.
Hey, do you have any dust?
It's all the dust you can ever want.
All right, let's find some appropriate music here. This one's named appropriately. Let's see if this works. All right, so we are at the top of the round as all of this is occurring. Cedric, you would be the quickest to react.
That's comical with all this lag I'm having. All right. I would like to move 5, 10, 15, 20 feet to the east. Right. So now that I can see Valen, I'm going to draw my crossbow or my regular bow at him, and just for my first turn, I'm just going to screw it. I'm gonna attack her because I get an extra attack when my sheet's not up. Hang on, it's trying to load.
All right, you try to pinpoint her through this thrusting sand all about you. Feel free to make your attacks.
Oh, I thought it was just around Dell. It's in the entire room.
You should be able to see it's like a circular area that is fairly large. It doesn't fill the entire room, but it is signified by the slightly darker shade in the area.
Okay. Oh, okay. All right. Well, if as an archer, if his vision's obscured, he's not going to just try to force it through. So what he'll do, though, is he'll hold it until he has confirmed line of sight. And once he does have line of sight on Valen, he's going to release an arrow.
Mechanically, does that mean ready in action, or?
Yes.
All right, so you're ready in action, and again, the exact trigger is when you have a clear line of sight?
On Valen, yes.
Okay, so I guess the way I'm going to interpret that is if the sand goes away.
Yeah, or if she moves, out of the sand and I can see her, or anything along those lines.
Yep, fair enough. That works for me.
Okay, I'll end my turn for now.
All right, so as you end your turn here, Cedric, Dell, you're going to notice from your east, popping up through one of these sand dunes is a strange creature. As it pops out of this just sand dune here, you notice it has a vaguely humanoid shape, though it seems to be mostly made or comprised of this sand and is shrouded in what you presume to be sort of like reddish, tattered clothing. As it pops out, it is going to make its way to the west. Alright, so it is going to move across the ground here, getting up close to you, Dell. As it does so, you see it has its hand kind of moves forward. You can see sand trailing off of it, but sort of recollecting from the sand at the ground to rebuild up its body. As it punches forward towards you, I will need a defensive roll, please.
Let me log out and log back in.
Oh, you're getting some lag now too?
Yeah.
Yeah, seems to be about that time.
Is it a pretty large map, Adam?
It is, yes, unfortunately. All right, as you try to evade the first strike, it does indeed pound into you. And you'll suffer 11 points of bludgeoning damage. You didn't see it follows up with a second attack against you. So that'll be another defensive roll from Dell. All right, this one you manage to evade as the punch goes wide. And we move to Leopold's turn.
Yay, turning on. I'm sorry if you said it already, Adam. How high does this chamber, the dust chamber, look?
Quite high. I would say altogether it's somewhere between about 40 feet from ground to the ceiling.
Okay.
And she's currently floating near the top.
Okay. So she's way up there. That case, Leo will dart through the doors. Okay, and he's gonna start his boots up. So that's 5, 10. Did that movement just track right? Let me see here. 5, 15? Yeah. Okay, so he'll start up the boots and he's gonna go another 10 feet up in the air and 5 feet over. I'll do the dots here in a moment, and then I'm gonna fire off a sharpshooter crossbow bolt to our floating balloon.
All right, you line up a shot through the sandstorm, and I'll need you to roll a second time as this attack is at disadvantage.
I guess not doing that roll very well. Hold on. Bummer.
Yes, unfortunately, this attack will miss.
Okay, we'll put away the sharpshooter for now, and the second bolt will just be a regular attack against her at disadvantage.
Yes. Yes, this bolt will manage to get through the hazy sands and strike into her.
Good. I will then whistle for Silver, and she will bound in. Running over here to Dell's defense, and Silver will bite the monster creature, sand monster, the sand person there.
Okay, and let's see, this is dealing force damage. Nice, so yeah, go ahead and roll a crit. Alright, so we will take both sets of damage there. So as the force attack lashes out, striking into the creature and wounds it.
Good. I need to use a bonus action. I don't think so yet. That is my turn.
Okay, on Valen's turn, as she floats here, you notice she looks over towards you, Leopold, and with a quick motion of her hand, you see this dark, corpusculent ray flashes out towards you. I would need you normally to make a Constitution saving throw, but unfortunately, she's seen this happen before, and you automatically fail this save.
Well, that's just mean.
I know, don't you hate that mechanic? Alright, so as this strikes into you, you're going to suffer... ...55 points of necrotic damage as you can feel your life force drained out of you. In addition to this, because you have failed the save, your HP maximum is also reduced by 55. Okay, after she does that, she is then going to move. Okay, then we'll move to Gertrude's turn. Gertrude is going to make her way inside. She will get up to here, and she's going to fire off a ray at the creature on the ground here. So she will channel some of that sacred energy into a radiant bolt. That will indeed strike into the creature and wound it. Okay, with that complete, we notice suddenly from the west side of the room, popping out of another one of these sand dunes, is a second one of these creatures. And it is also going to move along the ground up to here, putting Dell into a flanking position. As it does so, it is going to strike out. I will need 2 defensive rolls, please, Dell. All right, you managed to evade both of these strikes, and we move to Dell's turn.
All right. Health bars for these two creatures.
Yep, turning those on right now.
Awesome, thank you. And you said she's all the way up at the top.
She is. She's about 35 feet in the air.
Okay. So I never put my sword away, right?
Yep, last I heard you say, you had the Sun Sword active.
So I am going to bonus action Fey Touched Hex, the first one.
Okay.
And then I'm going to make make my 2 attacks with the Sunblade.
Yes, your first strike connects. Okay, see, you're going to notice that this creature is resistant to your necrotic energy, so I'm going to cut that down, but the rest of it goes through, wounding the creature.
Alright. And I'll hit it again.
And it is considered undead, you would notice, as the Sunblade seems to have that extra effect upon it. Yeah, second attack connects as well. Alright, this one's slashing into the creature and wounding it again.
Alright,
Okay, next up we find ourselves with Ranbon.
Okay, I'm gonna clear my throat, muted. I'm gonna step up here with Embodiment of the Law. As bonus action, I'm going to cast Bless on myself, Dell, and Leopold. Click some modifiers, please hold. Okay, and then I will let, because I don't know if Dell is going to need his reaction, I'm going to let Leopold attack this guy with his reaction.
Hold on. Regular crossbow bolt to that guy coming up. This is a disadvantage still?
It is, yes.
Just double roll, but...
So I'll just take that first one at the lower roll, but it does indeed manage to connect, piercing in and wounding him.
Okay, and then I'll finish that one off, killing it instantly with a Sacred Flame.
Alright, go ahead and roll a Sacred Flame with a spell effect roll. Yeah, that will affect it for sure, and indeed, you do manage to destroy the creature with the radiant energy plummeting upon it.
Okay, I only moved 10. Is this difficult terrain?
No, the sand is not.
I will step to here then and end my turn.
Alright, you step into that swirling bit of sand. As we move to Brandal's turn.
Alright, I go 5, 10, 15. Take a look in the room. Okay, I can see her. Do you think I have a clear shot for a firebolt from here? Let's see.
She's up in the air, so you would have to
Firebolt's
get closer
120.
towards the door, because otherwise you'd be shooting through the ceiling of the door.
Alright, how about if I step there? That should do it. Here comes a firebolt.
Your firebolt misses.
Okay, and then 25, 30.
Alright, at the end of Brandal's turn, but before the top of the round, suddenly shifting from the sand, once again you notice a different creature now springs forward. As this creature suddenly appears here, you can see this hard look rock, maybe some kind of desert rock, perhaps terrain made of its body. You can see its body actually ends at its head at very sharp points, and the most odd part of this creature is its arm. Its arm almost looks like a whole nother creature that it is holding on to that has jaws of its own. Very odd looking indeed. As the creature pops from the sand, it is going to make its way over to Ranvan. Alright, Ranvan, as this creature approaches you, here's a better description. This terrible creature resembles an imposing knight wearing baroque plate armor made of calcified resin. Its helm is a blank gray oval without eye slots or mouthpiece, and it carries a glistening great sword with one or more slavering fanged mouths.
You sure he was coming to me and not Del?
I am sure, yeah.
That's a shame.
And I'm going to give you guys this. I'll just throw this image in our Discord to do it justice. Alright, so that's what that guy looks like as he moves over in the flank. Alright, as he gets to there, and he is going to focus on you here, Ranvan. He is going to lash out with this blade in his hand. I will need a defensive roll, please. The first attack manages to get through your defenses, and you will suffer. Piercing damage as this mouth weird looking thing sort of grabs onto you and pierces into your body. So that's going to be 17 points of piercing damage, and in addition, I will need a Constitution saving throw.
Sorry, I did that real quick. This damage, is it coming as one instance or two?
This is just one so far.
Okay, con save, here it comes.
Alright, yes, you managed to not be affected by whatever this strange effect of this attack is. As a secondary attack, you notice he is actually going to cast a spell. Alright, and as he does so, I will need you to give me a defensive roll, please. Alright, you see he reaches out with a hand full of necrotic energy, but you manage to evade the strike. As we move to the top of the round with Cedric.
Okay, Adam, I'm lagging pretty bad, so I'm just going to need your help so I don't take up too much time. But if you could just move me 30 feet into that doorway there, right in front of Gertrude.
Yes.
If that's not a problem with you, sir.
Yep, you're there.
And I think that would put me in touch range with Leopold, correct?
Leopold's 10 feet in the air, so no.
No, not even if I jump really well.
Sorry.
That's okay. I'm gonna pull my bowstring back at him, and the one to the east of Ranvan, I'm gonna bonus action Hunter's Mark, and then fire off 2 attacks.
Okay.
But I can't click anything on my character sheet, so.
Alright, I'll get you there. Yeah, like I say, unfortunately, This map is a little on the larger side, and when you're designing it, it's like, oh, this isn't too bad. But then once like play and prime time is on, everything grinds to a halt. So I see the hunter's mark went through. Are you able to click the others, or you want me to?
Let me see. It's moving slow, but maybe it'll work for me. Hang on, here we go. Let's go longbow. Alright, I've clicked it. I guess now we wait.
The first one will be a fumble, so go ahead and roll a fumble.
It's the lag. It's cursed to me.
All right, and the target was the one east of Ranvon, in case the fumble is something that doesn't matter for that.
Would my ability to, it's the Stalker's Prey, being able to turn a miss into an extra attack, would that be able to cancel out a crit? Probably not, right?
It won't cancel a fumble, no.
Fumble, sorry. Alright, and then here will be, like my arrow kind of fumbles to the end of my bow, and I'm like, okay. I'll lick the, like, middle of my hand, and then I grab it, and then pull back, and fire again.
All right, you fire off a second shot at the same target. This one does manage to hit, even with disadvantage.
Alright. Clicking damage.
All right, arrow pierces through and wounds him.
Okay, that's all I got. For now, at least.
All right, fair enough. And then we move to Leopold's turn.
Leo's gonna stay 10 feet in the air. He's gonna drift this way. He's gonna stay there. I think he's gotta play this a little defensively since that big hit just rocked him, so he's gonna cast Blink on himself. And then bonus action, he's gonna whistle at Silver, who will then bound over here and attack with flanking. I don't think that's gonna hit.
It actually does with flanking.
Wow. Well, good. Then 9 force damage to him, and then I don't know which side Dell's gonna go to, but Silver is gonna move over to here so that she can protect Ranvon on the next attack. That's the end of my turn. What D20? And still here.
Okay, next up is Valen's turn. And Valen is actually going to, from where she's standing, cast a spell. We'll see if this one works.
Was that the effect?
Oh, no, there it is. It's literally lagging super bad.
The effect was it kicked Dylan off of Discord.
Okay, it looks like that is not going to work. So instead, what I'm just going to ask is, as she casts this spell, you're going to see the area near Cedric, Gertrude, and Brandel is suddenly going to explode in a fiery mess. And I will need all three of you to give me dexterity saving throws, please. Not Ranvon.
Oh, sorry. I just figured. I like to be included.
Is this with advantage or disadvantage or anything?
Nope, just straight up.
Alright, I think I'll keep that. I'm not going to roll inspiration.
Okay, roll a quick save for Gertrude. She will also manage to succeed. Dylan got kicked off, I heard, so I'll go ahead and roll for him.
I'm coming back. Just really slowly.
All right, yeah, well, don't worry. I rolled well for you, so you succeeded as well. All right, so all three of you are going to suffer half damage from this fiery explosion. All right. So this is a two-parter, so you'll take half of both of these. The first is going to be fire damage.
Can I absorb elements on this?
If you want to burn your reaction, you can do so on the fire portion, yep. Are you declaring to do that now?
Yes, fire.
Alright, so you guys all succeeded, so you would take 10 fire. Brando, you'll just take 5 fire. And then the other part of the damage is going to be 10 radiant, and that'll be cut down to 5 for all of you because you succeeded on the save. So altogether, that's going to be 15 damage to most of you, and then 10 to Brando. Okay, after she does that, she is going to move some more. And let's see, actually she's going to get to here. And then we will end her turn. Okay, Gertrude's turn. She is going to rush in to here and slash out with her halberd on this flank. She will connect twice.
Killing it instantly.
Pretty good damage.
Wounding it badly. Alright, that's Gertrude's turn. We move to the enemy's turn. Okay, this enemy, you're going to notice he actually is going to... Let's see, what's he going to do? He is going to step to here. So, Ranvan, if you wish to use your reaction to attack him, you can.
Belver gets one too.
If she wishes to use it, yep, as does Del.
I will. I've got Warcaster, so I'm gonna hit it with Sacred Flame.
Alright, go ahead and give me a spell effect roll. Alright, yes, this will manage to hit it, damaging it badly.
And a booming blade with the Sunblade.
Okay, sure. Yes, this will manage to connect as well, and as it is already very badly hurt, that will destroy it as it steps away. We then move to Dell's turn. Oh, actually, but as its turn ends, you're going to notice Valen moving very quickly as she suddenly takes a legendary action. Okay, she will utter, I should say, out this word, and Ranvan and Silver will need to give me Constitution saving throws. Both will fail, and both of you become stunned. Now it's Dell's turn.
Okay. So my spiritual weapon, it floats, so I could put it next to her to be able to hit her in the air, right?
Yeah, because she's only 35 feet up, and that's within the range of spiritual weapon.
Okay, I'll do that first. And then I will make the attack.
That'll certainly connect.
All right.
Alright, that will wound her for some force damage.
Okay, wait, before you make that second roll, I lose less, right, when you're stunned? You're incapacitated, and I think that means you drop concentration.
That is true, yep.
Okay. So I'll go here, and bless dropped off, right?
I'm sorry, repeat that question?
My bless dropped off?
That is true, yes.
Okay.
It doesn't say anything about concentration. It just says you can't take actions or reactions on
It's in
incapacitated.
concentration's text where if you get incapacitated, you lose it.
Okay. Sorry, carry on.
So many toggles. Hold on here.
High level gameplay, man.
All right, I'm gonna hit this creature with my sunblade.
All right, you strike out at this creature and do indeed connect.
So it's a bonus action to move my hex, so I don't have that. So it'll just be a normal.
All right, that will indeed strike into him and wound him. Second attack will connect as well. Okay, Ranbon unfortunately is stunned. I think you can still move while... Whoop, ignore that. I think you can still move while stunned if I remember correctly, but let me double check. One of these had something that you could kind of do. Oh, can't move. Okay, I think it... Oh, no, it's the incapacitated one that's like that. So, yeah, so you can't move, can't speak, or can only speak falteringly. So is there any faltering thing you'd like to say? All right, fair enough. That ends your turn, and we move to Brandel's turn.
All right, I'll move 5, 10. Oh, excuse me, Cedric. Oh, all right. Okay, everything's kind of crazy, but this is ballin', right?
She is flying up in the air, yes.
Okay, so she's 35 feet in the air. How high is the ceiling?
40 feet.
Oh, okay. Well, you'll see Brandel get his black metal staff, and he runs his hand on it. There's some magic words, and the words in the shaft of his staff read fire and brimstone, and shooting from the tip of it will be a fireball. And I tried to use a template, so do I drag it on again?
The smart thing should work if you go over to... Well, we'll see if it'll work with the lag. But if you go over to your macro section and find the cast fireball, make sure your token is selected and click the little die next to it.
Yeah, now it's a matter of moving it.
Yep, so you can only put the center of it somewhere you can currently see.
Oh my god, I feel like I can't move it every time I try to use the template.
It should be easy just to click right on it and move it.
It's centered on me and my tokens there.
Yeah, you should be able to select it even off you, like... But you want me to just move it a little bit to get it out of your way?
Yes, please.
Alright, how's that?
Yes, thank you, sorry. Alright, so it's going to hit the ceiling. It's 40 feet in the air, everyone's on the ground. Okay.
Everybody except for her, yep.
Just to be safe, I mean, that'll get her. And, yeah. I'm gonna try. So it's hitting the ceiling above her, so 20-foot radius. She's 5 feet from the ceiling. I think it's in range. I'm gonna trigger all, right?
Yes. However, with her legendary resistance, I think it'll probably be easier to say, post your damage. And she passed it anyway, so okay. So after she succeeds on this, yes, yep, that will work.
Okay, then I'm going to, that was 5 movement. Yep, okay, so 5, 10, 15, 20, yep. Okay, end my turn. Actually, Cedric, do you want me to pull you out of the doorway?
No, I'm good. It's
Okay.
gonna take me forever with this lag to get back. I'm okay.
All right, on the creature's turn, it looks towards the stunned Ranvan and attacks him at advantage. So Ranvan, I will need a defensive roll at disadvantage.
I'll do one of Silver's things.
Can she do that when she's stunned?
Oh, god damn it. Well, yes, because it's a reaction. I forgot.
Yep, no worries. All right, so this attack will connect. All right, so as these jaws pierce down into you, Ranvan, you're going to suffer 17 points piercing damage, and then I will need a Constitution save. All right, you managed to not suffer any ill effects on that. And then a second attack, so I'll need a second defensive roll. And this one also connects. For 19 points of piercing damage and another con save. All right, once again, you managed to maintain not concentration. You managed to not get suffered this ill effect. All right, that is the enemy's turn. You're also going to notice the enemy's wounds seem to heal up a bit. Okay, and then after his turn, but before the top of the round, nothing happens. We move to the top of the round with Cedric.
Okay, Adam, my sheet's still loading over here, so what I would like to do, though, is take my bonus action and move the Hunter's Mark from the downed creature it was originally on and over to Valen.
Okay.
And then I want to take my first attack against Valen. But I can't roll, so if you want to take that attack for me.
Sure thing.
And I got a Hunter's Mark, so include that as well if I do hit.
The first attack will miss through the sandstorm,
Okay,
as will the second.
perfect. Thank you. In my turn, and that's good to go.
All right, we'll move to Leopold's turn. Oh, actually, I'm sorry. Apologies. At initiative count 20, you're going to notice all of the sand in this room suddenly comes crashing down on Gertrude, Dell, and on Silver. On the dex saves, I believe stun means you automatically fail dex saves.
The
It says strength and dex saves.
Oof, Dell. This will be a critical hit against you, so I will need you to roll me a piercing crit. Okay, so twice the damage. Let me roll that for you. And then, let's see, the other two fail the saves, but it's not an auto crit on you guys. It's just fail. So, Dell, you'll suffer this damage. The other two will suffer half of this damage. So 53 points of piercing damage to Dell, and then 26 to the other two. And then go ahead and roll on the minor injury chart and see what you get for yourself, Dell. Okay, ringing blow, creature's deafened. Oh, you're familiar with that. So you'll need to make a con save to see if you're stunned. No. Okay, so yes, you are deafened until you finish a long rest, but other than that, no additional rider effects. Okay, that's what occurred on initiative count 20. You notice the sandstorm is now gone. We move to Leopold.
bonus action branding smite. So that'll go whenever I actually manage to hit. And then it's the dust gone. Is this a normal attack now?
It is, yep.
Right. Well, we're going to sharpshooter. Start with this first one, sharpshooter.
Yes, this will connect.
So add that 7 radiant onto that first attack. And I don't think this is going to come into play, but if she goes invisible, she can't. Or at least she'll be visible if she is invisible. And then another sharpshooter attack. Oh,
This one is just a miss.
right. Good. So then D20. Zip! I disappear.
You are in the ethereal plane, though, correct?
Oh, yes.
Okay, just confirming. All right, and that's the end of your turn, right? Okay, you're going to notice now she is going to move as she's still flying in the air. She will fly over to here, and then she is going to cast a spell. And she is going to cast a spell as she points down at Dell. Okay, Dell, as she points this, her hand at towards you, you notice as she does, she sort of opens her mouth at the same time. You see this absolute swarm of these flying locusts and things fly out and send right towards you. I will need you to make a Constitution saving throw, please. Yeah, this is going to affect you. So you notice as all of these insects fall on top of you, they swirl all around you, and they're biting and snapping and so forth, and you suffer. Whoop, that's not going to work. Alright, you're going to suffer 30 points of piercing damage from that strike. Okay, then she will end her turn and move to Gertrude's turn. And Gertrude is going to... Okay, so Dell has dropped. So
Yep.
Gertrude will move to here, and she's going to give you a quick healing touch. So she'll restore 17 HP back to you, Dell, as her action. However, you will have that one level of exhaustion, but then it is your turn. But you are prone, of course.
Alright, so now that I have 2 levels of exhaustion because I went down in the previous battle and I failed my con save during my short rest, I am going to look at her and cast... I'm going to cast Hold Person.
And when you say at her, you're referring to Valen?
Yes, Valen.
All right. You cast Hold Person on her, but it has no effect.
Alright. Can I get my spiritual... So my spiritual weapon as a bonus action moves 20 feet. So then it would... If I moved it closer to here, then it would be... What, 5, 15? So it'd be like 15 feet above the ground?
So you had it at the 35-foot mark. I'm
Yeah,
guessing.
just like underneath of her.
Oh, okay, so 30-foot mark then. So if you moved it down, you'd be at the 10. Yeah, you'd be 5 feet away from being able to strike that guy.
I would be able to? Okay.
No, I'm sorry. You'd be 5
What?
feet away from being able to strike.
5 feet away, okay. So then I would be at the 15-foot mark?
Yes.
Okay.
Okay, so that was that. Yeah, okay. So we move to Rand. I assume you stood up there as well, Del?
Yeah.
Okay. All right, so we move to Ranvan. You are no longer stunned, Ranvan.
Okay, does being incapacitated make me fall over, or is it just standing there?
No, you just stand there.
Okay, cool. I am going to... someone else can take care of this person. I'm going to stay here. I will... Okay, I'm going to give a healing word to... No, actually, my bless dropped.
Yes.
I'm very concerned about what to do for my spells here because I'm running quite low. Okay, all right, we're gonna give a healing word to Dill. My stuff's lagging so bad. I'm sorry, guys.
Yeah, remind me. I'll do my best never to have a big map like this, because like I said, this is really bad right now.
Okay, that posted. So 8 healing to Dell, and then you can use a reaction to attack the guy between us.
Alright, and it has to be a weapon attack, so Sunblade.
All right, you strike down towards this creature, but he manages to evade your attack.
With the flank?
No, good call. My bad. I forgot the flank. That will connect.
Alright, first level Divine Smite.
Okay, he is actually not undead or a devil, so no bonus there. But yes, that damage does indeed strike him. All right, he suffers that strike.
Okay, and then I will hit him with a Sacred Flame.
Yes, that will affect him as well, as that sacred energy cascades down upon him.
That's me.
All right, after your turn, but before Brandal's turn.
Oh no, I forgot about how D&D works, guys. I'm really bad at this game.
Okay, you feel awashed in negative energy. So this would be everybody except for Brandel and Leopold, who's in the ethereal plane. Brandel, your turn.
Alright, I'll move 5, 10, 15, 20. 25. As I try to see this person, I don't. Where'd you go, Cedric?
She flew into this corner over here because I think she wanted to draw you into this room.
Okay, can you point the corner?
Left. I just want you to know there was a big sand tidal wave a while ago.
I
you know?
heard. Okay. All right. I'm gonna. Okay. Here we go, Adam. So knowing I can't see her, but it doesn't matter. I know her name, so I'm going to cast Psychic Glance, and I utter her name. As long as she's on the plane and within range, it should hit. Range is 120 feet.
Sure, yeah. Go ahead and post a Psychic Glance. All right, and then make a spell effect roll as well. She would fail this save, but she chooses to succeed.
Heck, we're wearing off those legendary uses, guys. I have 5 feet of movement left. I'm going to be right there.
All right, enemy's turn, and the enemy is going to strike at Dell, who now is looking weak. Dell, I'll need a defensive roll, please. This first attack manages to get through. That should be piercing damage, ignore that bludgeoning, but 16 points of damage as the attack strikes into you, and then I will need a con save. Alright, you managed to maintain concentration on, I forget what that was, but then a Hex. Okay, and then a separate con save for the special rider effect. Yes, you managed to succeed on this. Second attack comes through, trying to strike you once again. Another defensive roll, please. This attack gets through as well. Dealing 14 points of piercing damage. And dropping Dell to the ground once again. All right, top of the round, Cedric's turn.
Okay, Adam, I want to move 5 feet to the west and then 5 feet to the north, if you can make that happen for me.
I can do it the other way around, because you'll have to move north before you can go west.
Sorry, east then north. My bad.
Oh, east and north. Okay, sure.
I was using the metric system. That was a joke about Canada being on the metric system, Volt. All right, so I'm gonna take both of my shots at Valen, but I still can't pull up my character sheet at him. So if you want to fire those off for me, please.
Sure thing. All right, you line up your first shot, fire it off, which will connect. You want me to post damage, or can you do that?
I think I can click it, but let me add a hunter's mark for you, right? D6.
All right, you notice this arrow strikes her. You think she should be destroyed here, but she is not.
Okay, Leo, you're the smart one. You figure that out. I shot her right in the face. I'm gonna shoot the rock guy that's pummeling Dale.
All right, you take a second shot at the other guy. Yes, that will connect as well.
Is it the same? It's no hunter's mark. Sorry. So there we go.
Okay, that arrow does indeed strike in.
Perfect. That ended my turn for now. I should have killed her with that one. Something's up, guys.
All right, at initiative count 20, you're going to notice that swirling sand reappears as suddenly Valen seems to become one with the sand. And then we, as soon as this is done, we move to Leo's turn.
Oh, she disappears. Okay.
She seems to become one with the sand.
She is. I don't know. I'm at a loss. As a, I don't think this is gonna bear out anything, but as a test, I'm gonna fly through her space. Do I feel any extra resistance?
You do not.
Well,
but
shit.
you were an ethereal, right? So where do you pop back in?
Oh, I was just gonna pop back in at the same spot I left.
Same spot. Okay. So
Yeah.
yeah, then you fly through that space, but no, you feel no extra resistance. That'd be 10 feet of movement.
Some tricks. She's a tricksy one. I guess for now, just kill this guy, and I'll. The dust is back, so I'm gonna fire regular crossbow bolts at that guy.
Okay. This bolt does not penetrate through its hard armor.
Well, another one.
This one certainly does, as it punctures in, wounding the creature.
And then I'm gonna move another 20 here. Bonus action, Silver's gonna come over here. She's gonna attack.
Yes, that will connect as she rips into the creature.
And then for my final trick, I am gone.
Nice. All right, you pop back into the ethereal. Okay, before Gertrude's turn, at initiative count 20, all of the sand is going to crash down once again.
You know what, Adam? I think all of those attacks were supposed to be at disadvantage because I forgot.
Yes, that's true. You missed the first one, right? So just go ahead and roll another one, see if it was a miss, or a crit, I should say, or a fumble, I should say. And then the second one, you can roll as well. So nope, you're good there. And then the second one. Would still hit. So yep, you're good. Okay, as the sand crashes down, it is going to hit into Ranvan. Dell will suffer one failed death save here. Ranvan and Gertrude will both have to make dex saves. All right, Ranvan, you will fail this save and suffer some piercing damage, as does Gertrude. All right, you're both going to suffer 17 points of piercing damage. And at the same time, you're going to notice that Valen actually re-solidifies in the center of the room. Okay, then I'll deduct some HP from Gertrude here as she continues to... Or actually, she will use another one of her touch abilities to get Del back up here. Okay, so Del, you'll get 22 HP back, but now I think it's third level of exhaustion.
Yeah.
All right, that will be her turn. We move to Del's turn, who's currently prone, but once again alive.
All right. I'm going to stand up, and let me check the distance on something. All right. I am going to... Is she within 60... Is Valen within 60 feet of me?
Yes.
Okay. Dissonant Whispers at first level.
All right, so you stand up from prone, cast a Dissonant Whispers over towards her. And go ahead and throw a spell effect roll as well. She will manage to succeed on this, suffering some of the damage. However, she still floats here.
Alright. That's my action. Don't have a bonus action right now, so that'll end my turn.
Okay, next up is Ranvan.
Okay. What I'd really like to do is deal with this creature between me and Del, so that it doesn't take him down again. And I don't think I can heal him more than I could do that effectively. So I guess what I'm going to do is use another use of what's it called, Embodiment of the Law, to cast Bless as bonus action. At first level, I'm going to target, I don't need it, so Gertrude, Leopold, and...
Leopold's in the ethereal plane.
Okay, well then not Leopold. So Gertrude, Cedric, and Brandel.
Brandel's behind a wall.
And myself.
Okay.
Yeah, now that you mentioned it, I can't see Brandel. I was just like, where is that guy? Is this him?
All right, so those of you that have just been blessed, go ahead and add that to your icon.
And then I'll let Gertrude attack this guy with her reaction.
Okay, and she will do so as she slashes out with her halberd. And yeah, that'll certainly connect. As she slashes into him and wounds him.
Okay, well I really don't want it to hit Del again, so I'm going to hit it with Sacred Flame.
And spell effect roll, please. That will hit, and as your sacred energy crashes down upon it, you see it collapses into the sand.
Okay, with the sand blowing, is it difficult terrain or can I walk?
I'm sorry, the sand has vanished once Valen reappeared. So yeah, you shouldn't see it on screen right now.
Then I'm going to run up here.
And just keep in mind she's 35 feet in the air.
I'm gonna move here then.
All right.
That's my turn.
I'm waiting for Atlas before Brandel.
Nope, Brandel's turn.
Alright, 5 feet. Boom. Okay, I see her. She's up by the ceiling again.
Yes.
This seems too easy, but there it goes. I'm gonna select my token, and you see Brendel take his metal staff with fire and brimstone on it, lights up, and a fireball launches from my staff.
All right, as the fire, I assume you're aiming just towards her?
Yes.
All right, the fireball strikes her, but does not seem to destroy her.
Oh, well, it's not fire. It's not piercing. Maybe she has resistance in this chamber. That's my action. I'm going to now move. So it's 5 and 10, 15, 20 to there. I'm in my turn.
All right, top of the round, Cedric.
I'm racking my brain. Well, we can't seem to kill her with any of our normal attacks at him, so what I'm going to try to do is I have a single second level spell slot remaining, I remember, so I'm going to cast Silence up around where she's at. I'm going to try to put her in the middle of the sphere.
Okay, sure.
So
Go
I'll
ahead
give you
and post silence. Let me see the text of that one real quick.
I can't pull up my sheet. It's
Oh,
still
right.
in that
Let me post
loaded.
it for you then. Okay, 24 race at a point you choose within range. Yeah, so it doesn't have to be anchored on anything. So, yeah.
Yeah, so I'm just going to point directly at her, you know, in my mind, anchoring it on like her belt as the central point of the sphere.
Okay,
And,
yeah, certainly seems to take effect as you would expect.
I'm gonna shout out. Okay, so I've silenced her. She shouldn't be able to shout any spells at us or anything. How the hell are we supposed to kill her? She's probably not gonna stay in that sphere though. Just heads up.
All right, Leopold's turn as you come back from the ethereal.
Yeah, and I'll I guess go right here where I zip out.
Tackle her. Airborne tackle, Leo.
My strength isn't that high.
I don't. I believe in you.
How about? There's not many good options here. I'm gonna. This is a pretty big play here, and it's probably gonna screw us. But I'm out of ideas.
Oh, you always like when a player says that. Let's see
Yep.
where this is going.
I'm gonna cast a spell on her. There it goes. She's got to make a dex save.
You notice the sphere snaps into place.
That almost seemed too easy, but she's in the sphere now. We can move her if she's actually there, which I'm wondering if that's not really the case. That was the action. I guess Leo's gonna move. Let's see, how big is that sphere? Just the person, basically. Yeah.
It says it's weightless as well.
Yeah. So Leo's gonna come over here, and can I just bounce into it and knock the sphere?
Sure.
As a
You bounce the
movement?
sphere to the east, is what you're trying to do?
Yeah, I want to see if she's gonna go with it or if I just.
You notice the
Did
sphere
nothing.
moves to the east, but she does not, as it just moves right through her.
I don't know.
Oh.
Well, that was 20 feet. I'm gonna go 10 there. Silver's gonna move here. Leo's gonna say, spread out, it's not her. I don't know where she is.
The image of Valen suddenly disappears as from the ground a massive sand tornado erupts, pulling everybody in the room closer to it. Even Leopold, who's currently flying, I'll need everybody to make a strength saving throw. At the same time, with this change in air pressure, Brandel, you notice the doors before you snap shut.
I don't think. Let me see if I can get my sheet, Adam. Otherwise, I can just give you a d20 or you can roll it. Let me see.
Yep, you can just do d20. That's fine.
That was a strength save?
Yes, please.
That was everyone, right?
Everybody in the room, so everybody except for Brandel.
I don't know if it's coming. I'm gonna click it again.
All right, checking strength stat for Cedric really quick. No dice. Okay, so let's see, and I got to roll for one for Gertrude. Okay, and do we have silvers out here as well?
That was my last one, a 10.
Oh, got it, right. Okay, so unfortunately, did I see one from... I did. Okay, everybody fails this save as all of you are sucked into this circling swarm of sand and pulled underneath the ground. So first, you're all going to suffer some bludgeoning damage as you get bashed into the ground.
I just want to say, Adam, because I can't update my sheet, I've been keeping track of my health on the side. I've got 87.
Okay, so you're going to suffer 31 points of bludgeoning damage here for everybody as you're all pulled into the center and the sand has buried each of you.
I'm down.
Del falls.
Bless drops.
Oh, gosh.
Okay, so it will be Gertrude's turn now, and she is going to attempt to dig her way out.
Okay, wait, hold up. Would I have saved? Would Bless have saved me? Because I forgot to roll it.
Would Bless have saved you? What was your total?
Yes,
It could have.
13.
It could have. Yeah, so go ahead and roll. And no, it does not.
Okay, cool. Yeah.
All right, so yes, unfortunately, you're all pulled underneath the sand. On Gertrude's turn, she's essentially just trying to dig out of the sand, pull her way up a bit. So all of you guys are just kind of smacked in here, and it's literally like being buried alive in the shifting sand. You're moving your hands around to just try to get any kind of movement or traction or whatnot, and you can see that Gertrude seems like she actually is making a bit of movement. It's hard to see much at all, though, so you're just feeling like the press of bodies around you. Dell was down, so I'll need a death save from Dell. And those, remember, go to GM, so don't post those publicly. And then Ranvan, you said you're down as well?
That's correct.
All right, so we've got one death save from Dell, then we'll move to Ranvan, who does a death save. Brandel's turn.
Okay. Is the doors crystal?
They are.
What do I see through it?
You see only this like twisty image about 10 feet in through this before it gets too opaque to see any further, and you can certainly see sand on the ground.
So this tornado effect that blew the doors seems to have dissipated.
Well, from where you were standing, I would say you probably didn't see it, but you certainly heard this loud roaring sound, and you don't hear that sound any longer.
Okay, I'm gonna free action. Oh shoot, man, I don't know. I don't know, guys. 2 guys are down.
And remember, you wouldn't necessarily know that though, so
Yeah,
don't let that make your decision.
All right, let me open the door.
The door does not open.
Can I use an action to open it? Like, really
It seems
try?
to be like, you would almost imagine locked, except you don't see any locks here. Your memory goes right back to the fact that when you got close to this, they just seem to open as if through magic, and now they seemingly are closed.
Well, that's a curveball. Okay. disintegrated on spell slots. I'm gonna action spell magic at the door.
Okay, you burn your spell to cast a spell magic on the door, but it seems to have no effect.
I'm gonna yell, I can't get in, I'm locked out. 15 to here.
All right, top of the round, Cedric, currently buried under a lot of sand. Hard to say exactly how much. What would you like to do?
I would say that Cedric is a pretty dexterous guy, so I think that he would be able to wiggle his way as much as he can and see if he can force himself up. He's been in uncomfortable situations before, so he'll spend his turn trying his best to force his way up and be able to see out of the sand so he can breathe. That's the main thing.
All right, so he tries to dig his way out of the sand, so this would be an athletics check. Are you able to make it, or you want me to throw it?
I can throw the 20, but I can't check my mod, but I don't think that's going to do it.
Your mod is 0, so no. So unfortunately, you find as you're trying to dig your way up, Cedric, you're actually seemingly sliding further down. And that is actually going to do it for your turn, unless there was something else of a magical nature or something that you were going to do here with a bonus action that doesn't require sight.
Yeah, I was about to say, everything I need requires sight.
I was kind of figuring that, but yeah, I figured just in case I missed something. Okay, so we move to Leopold, who's also currently buried. Leopold.
I gotta interrupt real quick.
Sure.
I got Death Ward on me, so I got 1 HP.
Okay, so it hasn't come to your turn yet, though, right? So you're just buried right now.
Correct.
Okay, good to know. Appreciate that update.
And Bless doesn't drop.
Okay, yep, good to know. All right, so Leopold currently buried under who knows how much sand.
Really, I should have done a death save. I should have had a turn. I'm really bad at this game, though.
I'm not sure. Yeah, that's true, but unfortunately we won't retcon that quite yet. But we'll say you're up, but we're not going to give you your turn back.
I mean, I think all that Leo can do at this point is make an athletics check to dig himself out of this.
Okay, sure. Yeah, go ahead and give an athletics check as you try to climb upwards. You are unable to do so.
Silver is going to also try.
She is able to make her way upwards, not out, but she's certainly able to dig closer to the surface. I don't imagine Silver breathes, right?
No.
Okay, so this doesn't seem, and again, based on her intelligence, I would say she's not too worried about this. But yeah, she's just trying to get to the surface.
Right. Well, I guess it doesn't say that she doesn't breathe in the.
If she's a
stat
construct,
block.
I can't
Right.
I can't imagine she would have to breathe.
Yeah, I think that's pretty reasonable. But that's it. That's my turn.
Do you check to see if you blink?
Oh,
Right, because that's not concentration, right?
right. Sure would be nice. Yeah, I'll go bye-bye for a minute.
Okay, so now
turn.
that you're ethereal, you're not at risk of suffocating because you're out of the sand at this point, right? So you're in the other plane, and in the ethereal plane, there's not sand right in the same location. So it's almost like a gasp of air as you're able to take in a clean gasp of air. Seemingly no other effect, though. Gertrude continues trying to climb forward and makes additional progress as we move to Dell and another death save. So I'll let you throw that whenever you get a chance, Dell. All right, and then we move to Ranvan. So lost a turn because he was confused with all this sand, but not making death saves, has 1 HP. What would Ranvan like to do?
I guess I'm crawling out of the sand, right?
Okay, yeah, athletics check as you try to force your way up. You are unable to make progress and, in fact, find yourself slipping further down below.
Why did that not add Bless to that?
Do you have it checked as a global mod on... does Bless affect skills?
No.
Maybe it does. Okay, that's
Yeah, it's just saves, right? Yeah, that's right.
Okay,
So
all right.
again, unless there's anything magical or anything you have out in your pocket that you could do miraculously here, it's probably end of turn.
Yeah, I would you say that sand is like water?
No. But if you want to give me more context, I might be able to give you a better answer.
No. If it's not like water, then that's it. Okay, I'm done.
All right, fair enough. So after that turn, we move to Brando, who's still outside the room.
I do I see any other way into the room? How high are these doors? I mean, I imagine it's airtight.
It is made of crystal. As you do a quick scan around the room, I'd say the first thing that you notice is that all those eyes that were embedded in the walls are no longer there.
Okay. Man, I got half a mind to. It takes a turn. I don't know what's going on around here. I'm not good at this game either, Bo.
Well, this is obviously a unique situation. You got to try to think and see if there's anything you have perhaps on your sheet that obviously would be helpful, whether that's a spell or an item of some kind that might be useful in this situation.
Oh my god, the
Yes.
candles.
Yeah, the candles. But Ramvon has the candles.
It's so obvious now.
All right. Guys, the feather. I know I'm thinking feather. I'm gonna move here. Can I use my eyes of minute seeing and see if there's a button or something I could open this door with?
I will say you can use your action to make a perception check to investigate the door here. So go ahead and throw me a blind check.
But I want to try to use my eyes of minute seeing. I don't know if that's perception.
That's the thing that allows you to have advantage on investigation checks?
Yes, investigation.
Yeah, that's what I'm assuming you're doing. Yep.
Yeah, okay.
You do not see any button here. You're quite confident there's no release or latch or handle on this side of the door.
Alright, that's my action. 15. I'm just gonna say I'm stuck out here, guys. Open the door!
All right, Cedric, remind me, I think, did you fail the first check, right?
Yes. I slid down a little bit.
Okay, so you're a little bit further down in the sand. Anything other than just trying to claw your way out?
Yeah, I have a couple of things. My character sheet popped up. First, Adam, I've got something on my sheet called Landstride, which, here, I'll post it for you. It says, moving through non-magical difficult terrain costs you no extra movement. So, would this be something that's like crushing me, or would it be considered difficult terrain? I imagine if it's diggable, then it's movable, right?
It's not considered difficult terrain. That would be things like oil on the ground or a patch of woods or plants or something like that that would make things slower. This is literally like you are covered with sand, so you pretty much can't really move. So you're trying to dig your way out, so no, I would not consider being buried as difficult terrain.
Okay. Next, on the agenda for what I'm thinking is, I want to try something at him, and because I know that we hit her a couple times and she disappeared, I want to see maybe if like some of her regional effects may have dropped. So I read over this spell and it doesn't say anything about a space you can see. It just says that it extends outward. So if I cast this spell, obviously I have a 3rd level spot that I can use to upcast it. Does it seem like my rope like catches weight and I can climb up using it?
Well, what's going to be challenging here is it says a length of rope. So first you'd have to have the rope in your hand, right, to like cast this and send it up, or have it within close reach because it says touch, right? So you're touching the rope, and right now you're buried by sand. So I would say you can use an action if you're willing to not try to climb higher and see if you can dig through the sand to get to your rope.
Yeah. I would say I would ask that instead of trying to use strength, if I could try to use the like quick hand movements to try to like push very quickly into um, the space where I know it to be.
I think, unfortunately, since you're like packed down, you're not going to be able to use quickness to aid you here. Unfortunately, this will be athletics.
Okay, so yeah, if I feel like I have to use my strength then to get my rope, I might as well use what strength I have, if any left, before I suffocate to try to dig out. So I'd rather make a check to try to climb.
Okay, yeah, you can do that. Give yourself that third slot back, and then throw an athletics check.
Okay, and Randvon blessed me too, right?
Yes, sir.
So this is a check though. Okay. Son of a biscuit-eating bulldog.
Unfortunately, do not make any progress, perhaps even sinking even lower.
Yeah, Cedric just clamps his nose and then closes his eyes, and he tries to just let it take him at him. Is it like a collapsible pit?
So what you're saying is you're trying to go down? Is that right?
Yeah, here's my theory. There's gotta be a bottom.
Okay. All right. Yeah, I would say as you try to just like not move at all and try to hope it would like take you down, it doesn't seem as though you're really moving much.
Okay, so it doesn't feel like it's trying to pull me down.
No, I would say it's not like quicksand. It's almost like as you're trying to move, you're shifting some of the sand around, and this gives you the impression while you're buried under however much sand and you can't see anything, you almost get the impression that you're sinking further down.
Okay, I'm in my turn. I ain't got nothing else to do.
All right, Leopold's turn, who's currently ethereal. So when you pop back, so I'd say in the ethereal plane, you can see that you're about 40 feet underneath the sand. So where you were at, you can certainly pop somewhere within 10 feet, but we'll have to check the blink spell now to see what it says if you pop back into a solid surface. I'm guessing it's probably not, it might not even say anything. Let me just double check.
Actually, let's see. I actually appear in the nearest unoccupied space, so I don't know if
It
you actually
says
want to
if-
rule that.
It says if no unoccupied space is available within that range, you appear in the nearest unoccupied space chosen at random. Yeah, but keep in mind, also unoccupied would mean outside of the glass, right? So I will say, give me a... So I don't think you have any choice because you have to pop back in. So give me a d20 roll. I'll say based on the amount of space that is around here and your goal, obviously, I assume to not try to go outside the glass. Is that a fair statement?
Yeah.
Okay, so then I'll say roll me a 20-sided die if you get 3 or higher. Okay, so you're in the sand and you're trying to aim for higher up, I presume.
Yeah.
Okay, so you make your way higher up 10 feet. So you pop back in. You're still solidly covered in sand. So let's see. You appear in the nearest... no, okay, so then I'm going to say you pop up at the top. So basically you're aiming. Every space is occupied, but you suddenly pop up at the top. And again, you're standing on this huge mound of sand, and there's nothing else in the room with you.
Oh, shit. Well, first Leo starts yelling, "Brandel, use the feather! Damn it!" And he'll keep... That wasn't me actually yelling at Brian. That was Leo just like banging on the door over here.
Oh, you know I've been fretting it. I know I
Yeah.
have it. I know I've had it since last week.
Well, you didn't know what's going on in there. So this is the outside confirmation you need that things have gone horribly wrong on the inside. And then when we started the fight, I had about 5 minutes of true sight left. Does that have do I see anything like different, or Valen's staring at me from the ethereal plane or something near me?
No, you don't see an invisible Valen, and you're confident Valen is not in the ethereal plane in this room.
Damn it. Okay, well, I guess Leo's going to end his action with pounding on that door, making as much noise as he can. Silver's
As you
been...
pound on the door from this side, you see that it opens.
Is it the same? Is it opening to where I think it's going to open?
It does, yes.
Leo shouts, use the feather! Silver. I'll try and dig.
Silver makes more progress towards the surface.
D20?
Yep, to see if you pop.
I'm here.
You are here. Okay, Gertrude continues trying to climb to the surface. And yes, Gertrude has now actually, with 3 successful checks, makes her way to the surface and pulls herself up with a... And then we move to Dell for a death save. All right, and then we move to Ranvon, who has failed 1 check so far, right?
I got a 9.
Yeah, so 1 failed check so far. So still buried by quite a bit of sand. What would you like to do?
I would like to not be buried by quite a bit of sand. So
Yeah, come up with a good way with that.
Well, I've looked over my sheet, and all my spells are about healing, and not so much sand manipulation.
You didn't go sand domain?
I didn't see it, or I would have. Again, I'm not the best at this. I've got a diamond if I can barter with the sand. Perhaps. I think I'm digging.
All right, yeah, let's go ahead and throw that athletics check, see if you can make some progress.
Oh
No,
boy.
you feel like you're not making progress at all, Ranvon.
Okay, do I still have a bonus action? Can I harness
yeah.
divine power?
Yeah, as long as it doesn't require needing to see anything or whatnot, you sure could.
Okay, I'm gonna do this then. And end my turn.
Touch your holy symbol. Is that like on your neck or on a shield or something?
It's on my shield.
Okay, I would say that's reasonable since your shield's right in front of you that you can touch it. All right, Brandel's turn.
Okay, Brenda will take out the feather and feel the edges of it along the spine. Breathe into it softly and say, I call upon the great battle-born fighter of Lathander from the great Mount of Celestia. We are in great need of your promised help. Bring Lulu at once. I beckon you, please. And that'll be my action.
And as you utter these words, Brandel, holding onto the feather, you see it suddenly winks out of your hand, and in a very brilliant display of energy, you see Zariel appears before you. We are still in rounds here, but just be honest, based on Zariel's level of power and Lulu popping in as well, I'm going to say, because we're at the very end of our session, they are not going to have too much difficulty understanding what is going on here and then getting the group out. And on top of that, Zariel actually has the ability to resurrect anybody that should happen to die up to 3 times. So even if somebody did die from the sand, it is going to be A-okay. So as Zariel appears here, she is going to, using her angelic powers, extract all of you that are still below. You can see her actually kind of conjure, moving the sand. Angel wings come down, splitting it, cover each of you, restoring your ability to breathe as she gets you out of the sand, extracts you. Dell, she'll even restore energy. So I would say everybody feel free to restore yourself, say 4d8 HP, as she is going to spend some magic healing powers around. And as this energy comes down upon all of you, we are going to obviously be out of combat here. We are right at the end of our session, but I want to give a couple pieces of info. So what you would realize before too long here, guys, is with these eyes no longer here, some of the strange effects that have been occurring no longer seem to be in play. So Brandel, it would take a little bit of experimentation, but you realize now that things like Misty Step or some type of extra dimensional travel could actually work at this point, as it's not being suppressed. You look around quickly in this area for any signs of Valen, but do not find her. So rather than take us too much into beyond our session time here, we are going to go ahead and pause here and pick up on the other side next week, and we will presume you guys will try to wrap things up here assuming you're able to do that successfully, and then make your way out of this area back to Tal Shuta and report your success to Candlekeep potentially. So yes, things to keep in mind, but you guys have all survived and have been replenished by the light of Zariel.
Oh my god, guys, we did kill Balan. All we had to do was dig you out of the sand.
I don't think we did.
Yeah, I don't know. It's gonna be
Well,
hard
no,
to find her
because-
dust in all of this sand.
Well, we need her dust of her body when she reduced to 0 hit points, very specifically. So, yeah, we need to find her dust and then deal with Alicia, and that'll take care of the heart. Hey, but we have Zariel. Hey, Zariel.
Yes, and technically she could be here for up to an hour. So, as we break here, if there's any specific questions you have for Zariel, she will try to aid you to the best of her ability and all of her angelic glory doing so next week. So, yeah, great session, everybody. We'll see you guys all next week.
Thanks,
All right.
guys. Have a
Take
good
care,
one.
everyone.
Have a good night, everybody.
Good job. See ya.